on the hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Several loud explosions have been heard by reporters in Tehran. Iran's Fars news agency said air defenses were activated in the capital, and this after a U.S. fighter jet went down over Iran earlier today. CBS's Natalie Brand reports.
CBS News has confirmed U.S. forces rescued one of the two crew members of an F-15 that went down over Iran. Social media video showed two Black Hawk helicopters and a C-130 in what appeared to be part of the effort.
Operating low and pretty slow in broad daylight over Iran, looking for this downed aircrew. It's the kind of thing you would only do in a situation where you were willing to assume extraordinary risk because your objective is so important, namely saving some lives here.
That's CBS News national security analyst Aaron McClain. The White House has released details of President Trump's 2027 budget. He wants $1.5 trillion in defense spending. CBS's Weijia Zhang.
It was always his intention to beef up the U.S. military even more. Separate from that, the president does plan to ask for roughly $200 billion in a supplemental request to Congress, not only for Iran, but to replenish all of the supplies and stockpiles that have been used not only in that war, but others as well.
CBS's Stacey Lynn with more on the better-than-expected March jobs report.
178,000 jobs were added last month, heavy in the healthcare sector, but not only that, says Bank of America's Joe Quinlan.
Spreading out into manufacturing, construction, the good side of the economy.
There's also good news when it comes to unemployment.
Unemployment rate fell 4.3%. That's a very good number overall.
And he says no one's really talking recession right now.
In general, the consumers are spending, companies are investing, we're exporting more.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
Chicago Fed President Austin Goolsbee says of the economy and inflation,
I believed rates could come down even multiple times in 2026. I was just uneasy with front-loading rate cuts before we've actually seen the inflation rate starting to come down.
On day 3 of the Artemis II moon mission, the Orion is on track, and Mission Control's message to the crew:
the burn was so small and our trajectory is so precise. After the translunar injection burn yesterday at 6:49 p.m. Central Time, there is simply not a need for that OTC-1 burn today.
The lunar flyby is scheduled for Monday. Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito, as first reported by CNN, was treated for dehydration after falling ill at an event in Philadelphia on March 20th. Court's Public Information Office says he agreed to see a doctor before going home. This is CBS News.
I want to know what's going on in the world. I'm Tony. There are big questions that all of us are asking. I want to get you the answers. How are you? I'm Tony DeFilippo. Join me on the CBS Evening News.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station, News Radio 105.9 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
4:03 Friday, Good Friday, the third day of April. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Lisa Fielding. We have cloudy skies at O'Hare, 49 degrees, chilly along the lakefront where it's only 43. That's kind of the story into tonight. Could get another round of showers and thunderstorms. We'll keep you posted. We'll have the Easter forecast coming up for you at 4:15. But first at 4, days after a DePaul student was charged with aggravated battery for allegedly spitting on an ICE agent at O'Hare, local prosecutors have dropped the charge. The latest now from WBBM's Nancy Hardy.
The attorney for Brett Heyer had called the felony charge overblown. Now the Sun-Times reports Cook County State's Attorney Eileen O'Neill Burke has ordered her staff to dismiss it after she personally reviewed the case. There were no specifics given, but the office said in a statement it continually evaluates evidence and reviews cases presented by law enforcement to ensure charging decisions are appropriate. Heyer's defense attorney says he's a good young man who had never been arrested before. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Man has been sentenced to nearly a century behind bars for shooting an Illinois state trooper.
Cristobal Santana has been sentenced to 95 years in prison after being convicted of the attempted murder of Trooper Dakota Chapman Green. Prosecutors say Santana shot the trooper during a traffic stop in Springfield in 2023. Chapman Green suffered severe injuries but made a full recovery. Illinois State Police Director Brendan Kelly said in a statement that every day troopers are in harm's way, selflessly facing danger and making personal sacrifices for our safety. Terry Keshner, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Local businessman and familiar face will be giving out gasoline once again in the Chicagoland area. That also means you can expect some long lines near the pump tomorrow.
It's not the first time nor the second. Dr. Willie Wilson has opened his pockets to pay for gas. Saturday, April 3rd marks the 20th giveaway, and this time he's paying at the pump at 30 locations across Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. It's a first-come, first-served situation. Participants will receive $35 in free gas beginning at 7 a.m. In total, Dr. Wilson says he's given away $200,000 worth of gas plus $25 of grocery coupon giveaways at Seafood City Supermarket in the North Mayfield neighborhood at 11 a.m. Glenn Marshall, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Morning today about a string of parking violation scams sent via text and email. The fake notices direct recipients to scan a QR code to make a payment. However, the clerk of the Circuit Court of Cook County says this is not a valid message from their office. If you receive one of these fake notices, you should not scan the code or send money. Instead, you're encouraged to report it to police. A former 9th Congressional District candidate says she's staying in the community even after she lost in the primary.
Hannah Abu-Ghazaleh came in second place, losing to Evanston Mayor Daniel Biss in the March 17th primary. But the 26-year-old progressive says she's keeping her Rogers Park neighborhood campaign office open on Clark Street to serve the community as a mutual aid hub.
If you need diapers or Narcan or a coat or whatever it may be, you can still come by our office. And if you want to bring those supplies or mail them to us at 7016 North Clark Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60626, you can do that as well. We don't just want to leave the community that helped us build this movement out to dry.
In addition, Abu-Ghazaleh says she plans to help Democrat candidates across the Midwest to incorporate community action into their campaigns. Mallory Vorbroker, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
3 Catholic priests and a nun were permitted access to the Broadview ICE Detention Center to offer religious services to undocumented services.
According to one of the 4 ministers allowed inside the detention center, Father David Inzauskas, there were 15 immigrant detainees in the center, and all but one wanted to take part in the traditional Holy Thursday foot washing and communion service. 11 men and 3 women who stood against a wall in a hallway on the other side of a half door that was only opened fully so Father Juan Vargas could perform the foot washing.
Many of the detainees had their hands cuffed as well as their feet shackled during the entire time that we were visiting with them, which for me was very heartbreaking to see.
A judge ordered ICE to permit religious ministers to lead the detainees in prayer services through Easter this Sunday. Bernie Tafoya, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
It is 4:08. Traffic and weather together on the 8. It is Good Friday, a holiday. How are the roads as a result, Neil?
Well, pretty bad on the Jane Addams. We'll start there on the westbound side in Arlington Heights, Elmhurst, Arlington Heights Road. You have a crash there. It looks like the left lane is blocked with this wreck. Again, on the westbound side of I-90. Delays on the Tri-State Tollway northbound. Cermak to before the Eisenhower, and southbound traffic is heavy from the Bensonville Bridge down to Ogden. And again, a delay from I-80 to past Halston. The Ronald Reagan Tollway backing up where it usually does on the eastbound trip from York, getting on the northbound Tri-State ramp with a lot of construction in that area. That's it for the tollways. Route 53 a little heavy northbound getting toward Kirchhoff Road. That's long-term construction in the right lane. Southwest suburbs, a good cruise along I-80. In northwest Indiana, heavy traffic on the westbound Borman from I-65 to Kennedy Avenue. Eastbound traffic on 8094 is just fine. I-94 a backup westbound before US 421 in Michigan City. A bigger volume of traffic coming through because of Easter this weekend, and you have some roadwork set up there in the left lane. Expressways on the Edens outbound at Toohey. Police activity cleared from the area. Travel time on the inbound Edens 27 from Lake Cook to the junction. On the Kennedy outbound, brake lights from the Janeburn interchange to pass the Wintrust Mural in North Avenue, and then Fullerton to Harlem Avenue. A 30-minute ride to Montrose. 48 to the airport. You're 1 hour in. Eisenhower out at 40 to Manheim. 1 hour to the Jane Addams. 55 in from 90 into downtown. If you're coming in from Manheim, expect 34. On the Stevenson out, 50 to the Tri-State, 58, just about an hour to 355. Just 35 in from the Veterans Tollway to DuSable Lakeshore Drive. Southside, the Dan Ryan 40 out, 30 minutes in. 57 going out 18 and 26.
97 on the outbound Ford. Coming in on the Ford, you're at 16 minutes from 8094 to the Dan Ryan. DuSable Lakeshore Drive, stop-and-go traffic northbound Soldier Field to Chicago Avenue. Heavy southbound from north to Chicago in Graham Park and getting into Jackson Park as well. From the Metro Traffic Center, next report 418, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
For tonight, cloudy with rain, maybe a thunderstorm, low of 43. Temperatures rising into the 50s. Tomorrow, maybe some rain early tomorrow, then mainly cloudy and windy with a high of 58. Easter Sunday, breezy and cool with sun and clouds, but so far no rain with a high of 53. 49 at O'Hare, 60 Aurora, 43 lakefront winds out of the east at 12 miles an hour. It's 410.
Accumulation, preservation, generation.
What's up, everybody? 410 SubX.News on the spot reporting, and we're a little late today. It's Good Friday. And you see, traffic is bad. Don't know why it's bad, right? It is what it is. Let me get some of my bearings going, and I'll get maybe some radio calls. Hopefully everybody's having a good Friday. Don't forget, no meat today, right? You gotta eat fish, right? You're not supposed to eat meat on Good Friday. I don't know why, but I learned that from my mom, so that's what I know. Maybe somebody can put it in the comments why you're not supposed to eat meat on Good Friday, but I don't know. I know I learned that from my mom, so way back when. So, all right, let me get there with a few things that I need to take care of, then I get back on. All right, thanks.
Amazon.com/HUB delivery.
It's 411. Well, it's a big day on the south side as the Sox baseball returns to Wright Field, and it's been a nice day for tailgating as well.
White Sox fans tailgating for the home opener against the Toronto Blue Jays couldn't help but comment on the agreeable weather. We did ask how the game being rescheduled impacted tailgate plans. Some longtime crews missing a few members because of it, but it did not seem to impact the spread all that much. From simple backyard barbecue standards to some more elite offerings. One group brought an entire taco truck. For 11-year-old Chicagoan Arthur, this is his first home opener. How long have you been a White Sox fan?
Since I was born, because my dad's dad, I believe, was a huge White Sox fan, and so our whole family has been a White Sox fan for...
It is the first home game for the Southsiders this season, so we do have to ask, is this the year?
Maybe, really not. I hope so.
I got a better chance of winning the lotto. I really do. Let's be serious. No, we're not. No.
At Wright Field, Brandon Eisen, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
An exciting
That's
ending
bad,
on a
right?
teaser like that, because Chris is going to tell you all about it coming up in a few minutes here in sports.
Man,
It's a
don't
great
do
day at Wright Field. Well, underfunding city and state pensions is nothing new. One expert, though, says it's showing up in the form of your property taxes.
The deferred retirement plan was just one of several ideas recently proposed by the city of Chicago to ease the city's roughly $35 billion pension deficit. The city and state pension crises were decades in the making. David Greising, president of the Better Government Association, says efforts to shore up pension funding do impact your property tax bill.
It definitely has an impact across the board on what the city can afford to spend on a variety of different things. And one of the reasons that property taxes keep going up is because the city does not have extra money.
We talk about the ongoing pension crunch along with the revolving door at City Hall and challenges facing the not-so-new head of Chicago Public Schools this weekend on At Issue. You can hear the conversation Sunday at 9:30 a.m. and 9:30 p.m. Rob Hart, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Well, folks, it happened again. Yes, the canopy of the Robert Parker Coffin Bridge in Long Grove has been hit again, now 72 times. After a truck bumped into it this week. Julie Newman and her family own Newman Cigars and More, which is right near the bridge, and they say they keep track of every hit.
We have a camera on our front porch. It's our video of what gets stuck or the truck hitting or, you know, that scenario of exactly what happened. We also kind of have a fun thing that we do that if a truck hits the bridge, if you are in the store at that time, then we give everybody a free cigar who's there.
No one was hurt when the truck hit the bridge this week. Your Easter Sunday and beyond forecast coming up, the 5-day next.
Chicago isn't just a city, it's a stage.
Yeah, I don't know how you can keep hitting the same bridge over and over again. I think I've been to that bridge. Those are nice. I think that's one of those old covered bridges. They got them all over the countryside. They're pretty cool. I'm done with my chore. Now I can do my thing, right? We all have family obligations, and we all have personal obligations, and then we have community obligations. The biggest thing I think, by the way, thanks for tuning in. Sorry about the date. I had March 4th. I don't know how that came about. Am I a month behind? I don't know. This weather, I think, is killing me.
4 seasons, heating, air conditioning, plumbing, sewer.
SubX.News on the spot reporting. It is April 3rd. I think I flipped the 3 and the 4, and I thought it was 3-4, right? So maybe that's what I did. I'm making excuses. It's March. See, I'm doing it again. It's April 3rd, 2026. It's 4:15 p.m. It's Good Friday. It's a Friday. It's, I don't know, it's about 50 degrees right now. They say there might be bad weather coming up. I think one of the biggest things from the news, if everybody heard that, it was really important. Think about this. When I see that guy cut across me in traffic there, you've seen that, right? Cut across, right? Whatever. The biggest thing out of today's news that we got is what? 2 things. We're paying for pensions, which I'm going to get a pension. I'm a public sector union guy. And then the state trooper sentencing. Let's address both of them. Public sector pensions. I don't know how that's going to be resolved. And I don't know why there's that problem. Right? Because if you promise somebody something that you're going to give them something at retirement and they put money in. When I was working at the Chicago Public Schools and at the union, I put money into my pension. Every paycheck I put money in. I think now they're putting in 9%. It used to only be 2% at one time, I think, or 7 or 6. It was really low at one time, then it went up. Whatever. So if you make an agreement and then you put your money in, and then 20, 30, 40, 50 years later, because something's going on and they can't afford it, then whose fault is that, right? Is it the guy that worked's fault or the guy that managed it fault? That's what we got to start looking at. There's all of these discussions about public sector pensions or pensions about, oh, we can't afford it and that's why we're broke. Well, I did my work. I worked. When I worked and I paid. So what happened to my money? See, what do we keep talking about when we do our shows? What happened to the money? What happened to the police officers? What happens to the fire? Why is the fire engine and why is the ambulances don't have numbers, but we pay for the taxes to have fire engines and fire ambulances, right? What's going on with beat cops? What's going on with, look at all these potholes here. Well, don't we pay for taxes? Here's the issue. We pay the money in, but where's it going? So I think that's where we got to audit, right? We got to audit all the spending that's happening. A doji. We got to do a doji here in Chicago and Cook County. Figure out where all that money is going every single day. The second thing, and more importantly, I think for us, is this. I mean, that's important. Pensions and retirement's important, but it is what it is. You'll survive one day. Other countries don't have pensions and retirement. My mother-in-law in Japan, she's 80 years old. She still works. They don't have pensions there. They don't. My stepdad, God rest his soul, he was in the carpenter union in Japan. I think he had a little bit of money coming in because he was in the union, but they don't have pensions really in other countries and stuff like that. My grandmother in Czechoslovakia, I think she had a pension because she was a teacher. So there's all different things, but yeah, most countries don't have guaranteed retirement. So that just put that out there. I don't want to say it's good or bad, but there's a whole discussion about retirement and working to not work and all of that stuff. But here's the bigger thing that came out of today's news that we heard about. A state trooper was shot at. This is a really important story, I think, for us, and I think that's what I'm going to talk about tomorrow in the article that I do tomorrow. Or tonight, or whenever I write it. A state trooper did a traffic stop. Somebody shot at him. I think I remember that story. It was down in Springfield. And the guy got 95 years. What did we hear yesterday? With Officer Preston, right? It's Officer Preston. She got murdered. got 55 years. So, wait. That's a red flag for me. An officer gets killed, the guy gets 55 years. An officer a trooper gets shot at in another part of the state, he gets 95 years. It shows the problem with it, and it's not even the law. It's the same law that prosecuted the trooper shooter with Preston shooter, right? I think her name is Preston, right? What? So it's juries and judges, sentencing judges, right? So think about it. One is dead, got 55 years. One is alive, got 95 years. What did I tell you guys? Was it this week or last week? And we keep trying to blame others, right? Oh, it's Brandon Johnson. Oh, it's the judge. Oh, it's the prosecutor. Man, that guy's driving crazy, reckless. Did you see that guy? We blame Tony Preckwinkle. We blame, she just got reelected. She won her primary, by the way, right? So we try to blame all these people. And what I've been saying the last 6 months or so, been talking about, I said, it's our fault. It's our fault. If in one part of the state, they give 95 years for shooting at a cop, and in our city, when they murder one of our cops, we only give them 55 years for murder. That's our fault. It's our fault. That's our fault. It's not a judge's fault. It's not a prosecutor's fault. It's not a politician's fault. It's our fault. I'm going to try to align those two cases. I'm going to try to get the case stuff. Maybe I'll do a comparison, right? But that's our fault. Whatever it is it we don't like cops? Is it we're soft on cops? I don't know. As a collective here in this part of the state or in this city or in this county, I don't know what it is. I have no idea. I don't study that stuff. But that's a problem. When in another part of the state they give the guy 95 years, and in our city they get 55. Now I know that was a plea deal for the 55 years, but that guy should have life in prison. That's it. When you kill a cop, he has a possibility to be out. They said, oh, he won't be out till he's 80 or 90. Nah, you'll see, 20, 30 years, we're all going to be dead. We're all going to be dead. We ain't going to be around. None of us will be around when this happens. There'll be some kind of exoneration project. There'll be some new lawsuits or new something, and they'll let them free. Or some governor can come in and say, you know what? These are crimes of the past. We want to release all these people. They served 35 years, and that's it. You know, there's some people say they served 35 years, that's enough, and they let them go. That happens all the time. So the reason I'm saying that is what's our value systems up here, right? And it seems, I put up a article, not really an article, a cartoon with some wording on it. Desensitization. We become desensitized to violence. Violence, right? And I wrote this on a couple of words. The economy of violence. We've not only been desensitized, violence has become part of who we are up here in Chicago. It is part of who we are. I'm part of it. I'm part of it. Because I report it. I'm part of it. I am that, right? I'm part of that. Think about it. We have pages called crime chasers, right? That's all they do. Chase crime. We have people that are called violence interrupters. We have people, imagine this. Imagine we're spending millions of dollars, millions and millions and millions of dollars on something called violence interruption. It's not on how to make better paintings. It's not on hairdressing. It's not on how to reduce pollution, right? Why aren't we doing how to reduce pollution interventionists, right? Why aren't we doing how young girls can be better engineers, right? Why don't we do, how do we build up our water polo programs? Man, the Maserati there, look at that. That's an expensive car there, right? It's an expensive neighborhood here, huh? Right? Why aren't we? Everybody knows there's no water polo programs in the Chicago public schools. None. Zero. I think there's a couple. There's a couple. I may be misspeaking. You know, there's broken pools. There's broken gyms. Why aren't we talking about how do we increase swimming or water polo or girls sports? Oh, gymnastics. Do we have any gymnastics programs in Chicago public schools? When my kids were in, none. There was no gymnastics programs. Zero. None. Like, absolutely none. Like, not even one. Right? So, here we are. Think about it. We spend millions of dollars on what? Something called violence interruption. We are part of the violence culture, right? It's our fault. It's our fault. Remember I told you the story a long time ago about Paris Lacker, one of my students? I told you guys this story, and I always talk about it. That's almost, oh man, that's going over 20-something years now that she was my student. She was the best student. I would say she was one of the best, if not the best student I ever had. Architecture student. She was a great student. And I don't know this what year she told me. I used to have the students for 3 years when they were sophomore, junior, and seniors. I looped them, right? Because I was running a vocational programming, right? I used to teach carpentry and architectural drafting. And Paris told me one day, right? Because I told her I should help these kids that were starting trouble in class. And she said, why do you give them so much attention, Dr. Kugler? I said, because they need help. But she goes, they don't want to be here. And they disrupt every time they're here. Why don't you? I said, yeah, but I need to make sure they make it. And then she goes, well, what about us good kids? Remember I told you guys that story? Paris Lacker. I'll never forget that to the day I die. She told me that. I wrote articles about it when I was doing my PhD work in education. I have a PhD in education, leadership. When I wrote a paper, it was just about that. Why do you help the bad kids? She told me that. Why do we help the bad? So think about this. We spend millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars on something called crime intervention, right? CVI, it's called. There's no results. In fact, crime is going up now in the city, right? All it is a program where we pay people to talk to people. Maybe something doesn't happen. Maybe. And we're paying people that usually are ex-criminals, which ain't bad. I'm an ex-criminal, so and it is what it is. You can get reformed. Tyrone Muhammad, he's an ex-criminal, ex-con, right? He did his time for killing a guy. I mean, we all have our past. Whether you like it or not, it doesn't matter, right? So that's just how life is. We all go through things. Some do bad stuff like I did. And luckily I got in the situations where people helped me get me out of the situations I was. I did my time. I did my rehabilitation. I did whatever I needed to do to get myself together. Found my wife and decided to have a family. Finished my schooling, got a good job, and all of that stuff. And then, the other things happen, right? But I'm not doing crime, right? I got out of that lifestyle, right? I'm not doing that stuff because luckily, there was people that helped me get out of it, and that's kind of where I'm talking about right now. That we're a culture of violence, especially in Chicago. If we have one officer who was murdered, and that guy who murdered her gets 55 years, and we have another officer in another part of the state that gets shot at, not murdered, and that offender gets 95 years, it shows you our value system here, right? I'm not saying that we don't value life more or less here. I'm telling you that we're used to it, that we've become part of the violent culture, right? I'm part of it. I'm part of that culture, right? I go to crime scenes. I go to murder scenes. I say all the time, if there was no murders, I would be doing something else. I wouldn't be doing this. I've done live feeding I just got off the phone with somebody I know, Jim Vale. He's a reporter, or used to be a reporter with the teachers union. Not at the teacher, but in the activists in the union, and he's scared. He's scared. He's a little pussy, right? They threatened him and he stopped reporting, right? He's a pussy because he's afraid to lose his job. Well, I ain't afraid to lose my job. I'm one of those guys, right? I'm not afraid of nobody. But the reason I'm telling you is this, that we all make decisions on what is of value to us, right? Do we fight or flight? But the bigger picture is here. What Paris told me, why do we spend that much money, millions and millions of dollars, on criminal activity? We have something that's called violence interrupters. Why don't we talk about, like I said, gymnastics development? Why don't we talk about fixing the potholes? Why don't we talk about renting out the abandoned buildings? Why aren't we spending money to rent out this building? We could spend all that violence interrupter programming, right? Money. And we could put it into that building and let homeless people stay in there, right? Yeah. I'll continue after the local news. It's 4:30, okay?
Cloudy, 49 degrees now at 4:31. The news continues, sponsored by the Chicago Franchise Show. A driver took his own life after he crashed into multiple vehicles, including a Pace bus. It happened in the west suburbs this morning. WBBM's Mallory Vorbroker reports that 14 others were injured in the collision.
The crash happened just before 9 a.m. at the intersection of Lake and Harlem in suburban Oak Park. Village officials say a person drove through a red light, then swerved into ongoing traffic to avoid hitting a person crossing the street. The driver then crashed into a Pace bus and multiple other vehicles. More than a dozen people were injured and taken to local hospitals. None are believed to have significant injuries. Officials say the driver after the crash took out a gun and took their own life. Mallory Vorbroker, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
A DuPage County judge has ordered a 16-year-old boy to remain in custody after he allegedly pointed a loaded gun at a mother and her children.
Addison police say it happened just before midnight on April 1st on the 200 block of South Yale Avenue in Addison. Prosecutors say a woman and her 5 children were standing in the driveway when a car drove past and a teenage passenger pointed a laser-sighted handgun directly at them while flashing gang signs and yelling King Love. When the Addison officers tracked down the 16-year-old suspect, his own mother let them search the home. Inside his bedroom, they say they found a loaded Taurus handgun fitted with a high-capacity drum magazine and a laser sight sitting on his bed. The teen now faces felony weapons charges, including unlawful possession of a firearm and aggravated unlawful use of a weapon. Prosecutors also noted he was already on probation for a 2024 vehicle trespass case. A judge has ordered him to be held until at least his next court date, which is April 10th. Glenn Marshall, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Well, if you owe the city of Chicago money, it seems like you're not the only one. It turns out that thousands of its employees owe Chicago a lot, too.
$19 million. That's how much more than 12,000 city employees collectively owe the city in unpaid traffic tickets, water bills, and fines. The Sun-Times used the Illinois Freedom of Information Act to obtain records from the mayor's finance department and says Mayor Brandon Johnson's administration has done little to make people pay up. Most of the employees work for Chicago Public Schools and the CTA. A substitute teacher tops the list, owing City Hall nearly $200,000, including for building code violations. Terry Keshner, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
4:33 around the world now. We're learning more about what happened after a U.S. fighter jet was shot down over Iran.
U.S. officials tell CBS News the search and rescue mission began soon after the F-15E was shot down. An A-10 Warthog was part of the search. It took fire and was damaged. Its pilot ejected over the Persian Gulf and was rescued. 2 helicopters taking part in the search successfully rescued the F-15 pilot who had ejected. The helicopter carrying the pilot was then hit by small arms fire, wounding crew members. The helicopter landed safely. The service members are being treated. The search continues for the second crew member on the F-15, a weapons systems officer. Cammie McCormick, CBS News.
The president is seeking a record-breaking budget for 2027.
The budget, which reflects President Trump's spending priorities, requests $1.5 trillion in defense spending, or a 44% increase from the previous budget. It includes money for the president's Golden Dome missile defense, a 5 to 7% pay raise for troops, and more funding for shipbuilding, ICE, and immigration detention beds. It continues cuts to the Department of Education. It also cuts $1.4 billion from the IRS and $15.8 billion from health programs, while it also reduces heating assistance and homeless programs. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Well, a federal lawsuit has been filed against the Department of Homeland Security. It's on behalf of immigrants and U.S. citizens who have been affected by its warrantless home entry
policy.
In January, Liberian citizen Garrison Gibson confronted ICE agents trying to enter his home.
They said, no, we don't have a warrant. I was like, okay, go come back with a warrant, and I'll let you in.
But agents forced their way in, even though he's in the nation legally. A federal judge says the arrest violated the Fourth Amendment by entering without his consent or a judicial warrant. The ACLU says the lawsuit could have national implications. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
Now, day 3 of the journey to the far side of the moon for 4 Artemis 2 crew members. CBS's Chris Van Cleef tells us that they're doing some routine tests and getting acquainted with the small space.
They are basically on cruise control to the moon. It's about a 4-day trip. So they have this time in space, sort of at cruise, to explore the capsule, test it, make sure everything is working properly, and report back as they wait for what will really be the main event, that circling of the moon, going to the far side of the moon, potentially seeing things no other human has ever seen.
The 10-day Artemis 2 mission calls for the Orion spacecraft to circle both and the moon and the Earth. Coming up in a minute, low gas prices, traffic, and weather together. It's 4:36.
At U.S. Waterproofing.
2 things. It's great to see people out here. I was gonna interrupt the news, but I didn't. It's good. I mean, there's people all over. There's not too many people on that side, but it was nice to see those crowds back there. It's nice to see that. I would love that this would be super crowded, and I get so frustrated I wouldn't drive here ever again. But it's good to see some crowds here. It's good. There's some crowds here. It must be because it's Good Friday. People have off of work and they're spending some time here. That's excellent, right? We need to do that, right? We need to focus on the positive. The second thing is that moon stuff is crazy. I've been following that. That's some wild stuff. I don't know if you guys are. I'm trying to keep everything posted. There's a lot of good stuff on Twitter. NASA on Twitter has really cool pictures of the moon and the Earth, what they're seeing. And like they said, no one's ever done this. We've gone to the moon. We haven't done that for a long time, but now we're doing something else. You know, we can complain about our government, but when it focuses on the good stuff, on positive, it can do good things. And think about it, this moon thing it's not a Trump thing because it takes years to plan it, but it's going, right? He could cut it. He could cut these programs and he can do all these things, and he's letting them go, so which is a good thing. So go back into to be the positive. I mean, that's the idea. I gotta maybe check the news here.
24th, provided by.
Let me listen to the local stuff here.
For tickets and more information,
they usually go on local right now. So
now the lowest
gas prices. So forget about it. So what I was talking about, Paris Lacker. We focus. We have a whole department that says crime interventionists, right, or violence interrupters. So that means that what did I say this other day? I think we anticipate violence. We are programmed to anticipate it. We have a whole department that's about it. It's like, what? And then we're making fun of the gymnastics. I like what James just said. Gymnastics is jumping over the turnstiles. I love that. But seriously, when my kids were in gymnastics, there is no gymnastics program. I don't think there's any gymnastics program in the entire city of Chicago public schools. None. The water polo program at Juarez, where my kids were, in fact, they had COVID and got messed up. Their pool broke. Do you know this? That at Northeastern College, university up there, where the girl got raped a couple of weeks ago, the one up there by the cemetery, do you know that one? The pool's been broken for 4 years. Do you know my son went to that school to be part of the water polo program? My kids are water polo kids, right? And they used to do practice up there. And anyway, I went there, the pool's broken. It's been broken for 4 years. I asked my son, I said, did they give you a refund from your tuition that you can't use the pool? He goes, no. So they have a budget, they charge tuition, they have a pool that's broken that they don't fix. So what are they doing with the money? It goes back to the pensions. What are you doing with the money? Because why? We're focusing on the negative. That's why. Our money goes to the negative. It doesn't go to the positive. Why? Because we give a guy 55 years instead of 95 years. And then he's out doing the same stuff the next day. Safety Act. They do a crime. What did they just say about some kid? He was on ankle monitor or probation for breaking into cars, and now he's robbing other people. He needs to be locked up or put in some kind of work camp or some kind of vocational program or the army. We need to set up a system. If you want to break the law and do bad things, fine. You get a choice. Military, the jail, or some kind of rehab program. And that's it. And the rehab program is working. It's not laying back watching TV. I was saying this the other day. That this guy who just murdered Sheridan, right? The girl, the 18-year-old. Do you know he's living a better life in our prison than he would live in where he comes from? He has 3 meals a day. He has running water. He has a toilet in his cell. He has medications that he can take because he says he's mentally retarded or something because he was shot, right? That guy, Jose Medina, right? Didn't he say this whole sad story? After he gets caught, he has a sad story, right? But here's the point. He's going to be better off in our jails than he would if he was back where he's from. Why? Because we spend money on the bad guys. We don't spend money on the good people, right? And we need to focus on that. I think that's one of the things that maybe that's what I do in the next 20 or 30 years as I'm living. And maybe I try to figure out how do we refocus what we do on positive stuff. Yeah, like Ms. Zidor says, yeah, it's a mismanagement of funds, right? We were spending money on ankle monitors, but they're not doing anything. How much do we pay for the ankle monitor program? All those ankle monitors, all the whatever satellites they do, and it's not helping. People are getting murdered. They're carjacking. They're stealing with the ankle monitors. So why are we paying for that? You think about it. Why do we pay for something that doesn't work? Why do we pay the streets or Department of Transportation, CDOT, and there's potholes in the roads? Why do we pay for that? Why do we pay for it? I hate to say this, and this is, you might take this crazy. Why are we paying the police department when we still got crime? Why are we paying the school system? We just gave the new CEO, I gotta check how much raise she got, $380,000 a year. $380,000. I think it's a $100,000 raise she got. From Pedro Martinez to her, to this new CEO of this schools, and the kids can't read. Why would we give somebody a raise and more money when it's not working? That doesn't even make sense. That has no sense to me at all. Zero. None of us in regular life, when we're raising our families, taking care of our parents, when we're in school, whatever we're doing, we do that kind of whack job stuff. If your car is broken or burned or whatever it is, you keep putting money into it? No. You don't put money into something that's broken or not working or some negativity, right? You try to cut it out. Maybe you got to figure out how to get out of that car note or that housing note or whatever it is, but you try to figure out, but you don't keep putting more money into something that's negative. So why do we keep doing it? Why do we put more money into crime intervention and paying people? Why aren't we putting it into taking care of the kids that want to succeed? Like Para said, why are you putting money and energy into someone who don't care? Why don't you put it into people who care? Here's the problem. Because no one's come up with a solution for the people who... Oh man, they got a bunch of cops there, man. Look at that. See? We got a bunch of cops right there, right? There's a whole bunch right there, right? There we go, man. I don't know how many there are. How many is that? That's 1, 2, there's 3, 6 cops right there. See them all? That's a lot of money there. That's what, at least what, 70 grand each times 6? I mean, that's good they're here. But why aren't they in Inglewood? Why aren't those guys in Inglewood? Why aren't they busting the drug dealers? Why aren't they arresting people who are selling drugs or doing drugs or helping the lady out that's prostituting today because she needs to pay her bills or whatever she's doing, right? Or he's doing, right? There's male and female prostitutes, right? So why aren't those cops doing that? I get it. They're trying to protect the tourism here, but 6 cops is a little too much. Maybe you should have 2 cops here and 2 cops in the west side and 2 cops on the south side or something like that. But again, that's focusing on the negative, right? And look, I get it. We need to stop certain things, right? I'm not saying no cops. I'm not saying no schools. But our focus is what on the violence. But yet, we only give the guy who killed the cop 55 years. So we're not focusing on the violence. What did I show you? That building over there on Michigan Avenue? We're not focusing on fixing our buildings. That's 1 abandoned. That's 2 abandoned. There's 2 abandoned buildings here. 1, 2. We're not focusing on that. We're not focusing on that. We're talking about how much money we're paying into pensions. Look, I'm going to get a pension. I hope I do. I got to, you know, I'm 58. For me to pull my pension, I think I'm going to get 60 or 70% of it or something like that. Because I didn't get my 20 in. I have to wait. I got 18 and a half years in the system in Chicago Public Schools. I have to wait till I'm 64, and then I'm going to get only 60 or 70% of the pension that I put in, right? I was putting in every month. I was putting in, I don't know, 9 or 10% of my salary into my pension. But I have to wait till I'm 64. And I'm getting to a big circle talk. Let's say this, right? And this is what's going to happen. We're not putting it into the positive. We're focusing on negative. We're violence desensitized, I think. I think that's what we're, or it's normalized, they say. Which is, we need to think about that, right? We need to think about that, right? Why is that? A culture of violence, right? Or loyal to the lie, right? This is good, this is bad, and then we spend the money on it, right? But if we keep doing this and we don't stop it, what's going to happen? Just like when I'm a car guy, when you don't fix your engine's going to blow up and the car ain't going to run. No matter what we do, no matter what we spend, that car's engine blows up or the axle goes out or whatever happens. It don't run. It don't go forward. It's going to stop. And then that decision has to be made. What are we going to do? And then it's all rusty. It's all busted. It's all messed up. And we spend $1 billion on the car and it's still busted up rusty. It don't make no sense. And that's where we're at right now. We got a rusty, busted up, messed up car. That's our city. We need to figure out what we're doing. Why do we keep spending money on something that in the end, we're going to have to get rid of? And this is why I'm saying it that way. We're not going to be able to sustain all these pensions unless we, look at that guy. Did you see that guy? He just went through 3 lanes of traffic. Didn't you see that guy right in front of you? Unless we change what we're doing. We can't sustain this culture of violence in our city. We cannot sustain it. When we were at that murder scene on 67th and Wentworth, that whole store area was shut down. The restaurant was shut down. They shot out the windows. The gas station was shut down. And before that, we were at Rhodes, where the 8-year-old was shot. The Dunkin' Donuts was shot up. The Subway was shot up. All those businesses were losing money. Yes, we're losing lives. It has a human toll, but we're suffering even higher financial toll. And it goes to the pension issue. We have less people paying into the pension because we're getting older as a society. We also have less people paying into the pension. Why? Because there's less people in our city because they don't want to be part of that culture of violence. They're like Paris, who says, you need to take care of the good kids. And when you take care of the bad kids, I don't want to be part of that. Most people are good. They don't want violence. They don't want crack dealers. They don't want carjackers. They don't want ankle monitors. They don't want to talk about shooting at cops, right? They're like, what? Shooting at a cop? What's that? It's unsustainable that we have this much pension debt. There's 4 more, so we just seen 10 cops. There was 6 up there, and there's 4 over here. Did you just see them? Just seen them, right? So we got 10 cops right here. Is that sustainable? It's that sustainable? We're gonna go somewhere today and see how many cops are. So far you've seen 10 cops here within what? 5 minutes on Michigan Avenue, right? Now we're gonna go somewhere else and see if there's cops over there. But it's unsustainable that we have violence. We spend money on violence. And we have this pension debt, which is not getting paid into. The only thing that's going to fix it is what? We have to have something that stops the violence. Right? There we go. $6 gas. Wait, it's going to flip. I don't even know why they do that. That flips the price. $6.09 gas over there. See that there? So, if we don't stop this violence, what's up, Marietta? If we don't stop this violence and corruption and crime, we're not going to get anywhere. Because we're spending so much of our resources there. And our resources are shrinking. It's disproportional, right? How much are we spending on a criminal every day? Has anybody done that kind of a study? Maybe that's what somebody should do. How much do we spend in resources on a criminal? And how much do we spend on a kid that wants to do good, right? A gymnastics kid. Or somebody who wants to be an astronaut. Or somebody who wants to be a chef, right? How much are we spending on that kid? And how much are we spending on the kid that's a carjacker, right? And remember, the carjacker kid, you have to talk about the insurance when he wrecks the car. You got to talk about the jailers, the police people, the counselors, the attorneys, the judges, and all of that kind of stuff, right? All that encompassing, right? You just seen 10 cops walking around. That's a lot of money. Is there 10 teachers walking around? Think about this. You just seen 10 cops on Michigan Avenue, right? Just seen 10 cops. That's why I do a live feed. We can take it good or bad. I'm not making a judgment call on that, right? You just seen 10 cops. Oh man, they're doing drugs out here, man. You just seen 10 cops on Michigan Avenue. It's 4:50, right? p.m. on a Good Friday. Is there 10 teachers right now walking around with students, helping them today? Think about that. All right, let's not pick on teachers. I'm a teacher. I'm a certified teacher. I got a license to be a teacher in the state of Illinois. Let's not pick on teachers. How about this, Alexis? Do we have 10 social workers? You know, we keep talking about treatment and trauma. Treatment, trauma, treatment, trauma. Remember that? That's their whole shtick, right? The defund the movement, right? Defund the police. And we cause trauma on them, everybody. Isn't that what that side says? The lying side, right? Loyal to the lie, right? They're loyal to the lie. They lie, right? What did you just see? You seen 10 cops walking on Michigan Avenue. So they're about trauma. If he was true to what he said, if those defunding neoliberal fascists were true to what they said, true progressives, you would not see the cops walking around on Michigan Avenue. You would see teachers, social workers, or somebody else. Instead, they are the ones who cause the trauma. They are the ones that are spending the money on the violence. Why? Because when you lock somebody up, when you send them to the military, you send them to a vocational school, what? You're spending money to do what? To remove the criminal from the environment so he doesn't harm us. So that the businesses can continue to work, right? This was a business. That was a cleaner there. That used to make, this corner used to be a cleaner. What is it now? It's a sheriff's office. Why? Because this is a drug spot. This is a known drug trafficking place. Why? Because it's got the train there. It's got a train there, and it's got a train there. Red line, orange line, green line, right? It's got 2 train systems here. There's a lot of young people here. This is a known drug spot. So instead of there being a business there that used to make money for us, the business was what? The cleaner. We paid the cleaner to clean our clothes. He made money, he paid taxes, he gave jobs, he bought chemicals, he did all kinds of good things. So that used to be a business that made money for our city. That was good. It shut down because it couldn't make no more money. Now it's what? We pay people to sit in there to chase criminals that sell drugs in this area. That's what we pay for. It's unsustainable. Why? Because we don't put the people in prison. It goes back to the first thing that we talked about. 55 years for a cop killer, 95 years for a guy who shot a cop or shot at a cop. I don't even know if that cop was shot. I need to check that story. Somebody check that story, right? Was that cop shot? That's our fault. It's our fault. My fault. Me. I'll say it's my fault. We need to do something with the criminals, not be spending our time and money with them. Why? Because now what? We have a closed down cleaner that's not making money, right? We got plywood here. I don't know why that is there. Got plywood there, right? Smashed plywood window, right? That guy doesn't have enough money to fix his window, right? It's plywood. In the old days, you never seen plywood in downtown. Never, ever. You see plywood everywhere now. Why? Because they can't afford to fix, right? They can't afford to fix the window because they don't make enough money. There's not enough traffic here, foot traffic. We need to refocus, and it's all of our responsibility, right? I think we need to ask, why did that guy get 55? Why didn't you make a deal with that guy to make it 55 years? Why didn't you give him life in prison? It's two things. It gets him off the street so he can't harm any people. Secondly, it shows an example. This is what happens when you do it. So the next guy doesn't know. What's our biggest problem now in our city, in our state, in our county? People don't care. Dudes are on you just heard it. The dude's on an ankle monitor. The dude's on probation. The dudes are on parole. They're doing crimes while they have ankle monitors on them because they know nothing's going to happen. Do you know when you have an ankle monitor and you get convicted, that time while you're on ankle monitor counts towards your prison time? There's guys that will plead guilty to cases. They'll never go to jail because they were on an ankle monitor. So while he's on an ankle monitor, he's in a court case. He does more cases. He pleads guilty to the case that he's on ankle monitor on. He doesn't go to jail. He's got a new case. He doesn't go to jail on the new case because he's already sentenced. There's no consequence. There's no accountability, and the only accountability where that's at is us. It's us. It's our fault. It's our fault. I told you the story about Jesse Sharkey. He says I'm elected. When he was the president of the union, Chicago teacher, he goes, I'm elected, I do whatever I want. What do you think Brandon Johnson's doing? He's doing whatever he wants. Just like Trump, he does whatever he wants. They're elected. We need to switch that. We need to switch that and say, look, you serve us. We want this. We want businesses. We want jobs. When people do crimes, we want it to be taken care of one way or another. Whether they go to jail, whether they go to the military, or they go to a vocational school, whether they go to drug rehab. We don't want people sleeping on our streets right there, right? People sleep on our street. We don't want people sleeping on our street in front of an abandoned building. That building's been abandoned 5 or 6 years now. There's people, you see the cardboard box there? Look at this. There's a cardboard box there. You see the cardboard box there? Guy sleeping right there. That's an abandoned building. Why isn't the city forcing Robert Morris, whoever runs that building, to let that guy sleep in that building? Instead, there's a guy sleeping on our sidewalk, on our city sidewalk. The police don't do nothing about it. And we have an abandoned building there. Right there. It's right in front of you. You can see it. That's why I do the live. You can agree with what I say or not. I'm just talking. There. There's a guy sleeping right there. Don't you see the cardboard box there? There's a cardboard box right there. Right there. And that's an abandoned building. And then we have a mayor who says, I want more money to help the homeless, rather than fixing the problem. He says, I want more money. I want more money because there's homeless people, so I need more money to to not fix the problem. We need more cops, which we always say we need more beat cops. I agree with that. And we need to spend more money. And then you've seen 10 cops on Michigan Avenue, but we're going to hear crime calls today, right? We're going to hear the crime happening today. 5 o'clock's coming up, so we're going to listen to 5 o'clock news, and I'm going to be quiet and we're going to listen to some radio calls. But that's the way we got to focus on. Paris Lacker, why do we focus on the negative? Why aren't we... Look, there's no solving crime. Crime is something to be managed, but we're not managing it now. When people on ankle monitors are doing crimes, when people who shoot and kill cops in our city get 55 years, and when a guy in another jurisdiction in the same state gets 95 years for just shooting at a cop. That's our fault. That's what I want to say. 5 o'clock. Let's listen to the news.
An A-10 Warthog was part of the search. It took fire and was damaged. Its pilot ejected over the Persian Gulf and was rescued. 2 helicopters taking part in the search successfully rescued the F-15 pilot who had ejected. The helicopter carrying the pilot was then hit by small arms fire, wounding crew members. The helicopter landed safely. The service members are being treated. The search continues for the second crew member on the F-15, a weapons systems officer.
In a first for a pontiff, Pope Leo will carry the wooden cross through all 14 stations of the Way of the Cross at the Colosseum. Earlier, he presided over Good Friday service.
Protect me, your unworthy servant, that the Christian people, entrusted to my pastoral care, may grow in merit by reason of their faith.
The U.S. economy posted unexpectedly high job gains in March, with 178,000 jobs added. But CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says there are some sectors that are still losing jobs.
In terms of job losses, we continue to see the federal government lose positions, 18,000 fewer positions in the month of March. Since peaking in October of 2024, there are now 355,000 fewer federal government jobs. That's an 11.8% drop.
Good news for the Artemis II crew. Because of the success of last night's key engine burn, Artemis II Ascent Flight Director Judd Freeling announces
We had planned today a trajectory correction burn for OTC-1 is what it's called, orbital trajectory correction. The systems are doing so well, navigation and propulsion systems together, that was not needed, so we'll roll that in to the next planned trajectory correction tomorrow.
President Trump releases his 2027 budget. CBS's Linda Kenyon.
The budget, which reflects President Trump's spending priorities, requests $1.5 trillion in defense spending, or a 44% increase from the previous budget. It includes money for the president's Golden Dome missile defense, a 5 to 7% pay raise for troops, and more funding for shipbuilding, ICE, and immigration detention beds. It continues cuts to the Department of Education. It also cuts $1.4 billion from the IRS and $15.8 billion from health programs, while it also reduces heating assistance and homeless programs. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
This is CBS News.
What is going on?
What's going on here? Thanks, me, Z-Door. Yeah, pension or not, we'll see. I'm not. Look. Every day is a blessing that God gives me when I wake up and I can do my things every day. I'm grateful to God, whether I have money or not. I have a place where I sleep. I have some food on my table. I have a great family that loves me, and I love them back. And I love my God. Right? I love my God. I love God. He takes care of me, man. If it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be here. That's all I got to say. You know, I don't want to get too much on the God thing, but it is Good Friday. Right? There you go. Those girls are twerking there. Look at those influencers there. See that there? Yeah, they're doing some kind of Good Friday influence in there. See that there? There you go. What are you girls working on there? SubX.News. I do live feeding. Doing some Good Friday stuff? No? Alrighty, there you go. You're not too friendly, are you? See there? They get on the TV and they pretend to be friendly, right? And then when you try to interview them, they do something that's strange there. So, let's not forget, it's Good Friday. So, It's okay to talk about God a little bit today. Let's listen to the news.
Chicago police say that during the early morning hours on March 9th, a 16-year-old boy was driving a stolen vehicle through the Chicago Lawn neighborhood when he lost control and crashed into a tree. He was taken to an area hospital in fair condition. His passengers, however, 3 teenage girls, each with substantial injuries, including a 15-year-old girl who later died. The boy is charged with 1 felony count reckless homicide while operating a motor vehicle. Brandon Eisen, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Woman in the hospital after she was hit by a car while she was walking on the city's west side. Police say the crash happened just after 9 last night near Lake in Laramie. The 44-year-old woman walking on a sidewalk when a tan sedan hit her as its driver attempted to turn the car around. Investigators say the woman fell to the ground and she was injured. She was taken to the hospital in serious condition. The driver of the sedan, a 57-year-old man, he is hospitalized in good condition and he was taken into custody. Charges are pending. Well, hometown airline United overhauling its premium cabins into a new tiered structure this year.
The airline announced it will offer new base, standard, and flexible fare options in premium cabins for customers flying on long-haul international, transcontinental U.S., and select Hawaiian flights. The base category in premium cabins will have to pay extra to select a seat before check-in and will only get 1 checked bag for free instead of 2. A standard premium ticket offers perks such as free seat selection and additional checked bags, with flexible tickets being fully refundable. United said it expects to launch the new categories in select markets this month. Mallory Vorbroker, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
A historic bridge in northwest suburban Long Grove takes another smack.
Yeah, we've got another bridge hit.
There are few things certain in life, but the Robert Parker coffin-covered bridge in Long Grove getting hit is one of them. The bridge canopy has now been hit at least 72 times since 2018. Julie Newman and her family own Newman Cigars and More, and surveillance video from their store shows the latest hit.
The vehicle just got stuck, appeared as though it had ladders on the top. Every time it happens, the same thing that everybody says is, they should really put something in front of the bridge. They should raise the bridge. And everybody has all these ideas on what to do. We also kind of have a fun thing that we do, that if a truck hits the bridge, if you are in the store at that time, then we give everybody a free cigar who's there.
I love that. I start smoking cigars. You probably have some people say, hey, hit the bridge. I want to smoke.
Right.
Terry Keschner, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Grew up near there and it never happened back then. So who knows what's going up there. Washington says some eye drops may hurt more than they help.
More than 3 million eye drops are being recalled because the FDA says the manufacturer can't promise they're sterile. The drops are produced by KC Pharmaceuticals based in California. They were sold at Walgreens, Kroger, and other stores. The government says there's not a serious threat if you use the drops, but the voluntary recall is being issued just to be safe. You can find more on whether the eye drops you have are part of the recall on the FDA's website. Cisco Cotto, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
It is 5:08. Now traffic and weather together on the 8s every 10 minutes.
So yesterday's ATF thing, I'm just reading that. And there was a robbery. They tried to rob undercover federal agents. And you just heard a kid just smashed the car and heard a bunch of people. You got the migrants begging right there. You just seen them, right? Look, focusing on positive. You see a migrant that's using their children begging, which is against the law. Why don't you pick them up? Take those kids out of their care and put the kids into a family that will not use their children and exploit them, and give them a better life and teach them not to do that stuff. And then maybe in 5 or 6 years, the family says, yeah, we learned our lesson not to use our children to beg, which violates the law, and we've corrected ourselves. Or they never correct themselves and the kids never go back. That's why we have all of these things. We had reform school. We had all of these things. Because in the old days, we had a lot of immigrants in our society coming from all different worlds, right? And we tried to fix that. And we tried to build America, in which we did. For a long time, we were doing good. Now we're in an inflection point. Right? We're switching now, right? We got new people now in our country, which is all right. We need that stuff. But when are we going to change it? Well, we can change it today. By being, and I'm going to go a little bit on this God thing now here. It's Good Friday, right? We need to think about that, right? You can have your doubts on resurrection and all of that stuff. And did Jesus Christ stand up again? Isn't that what Easter's about, right? On the cross, and they put him in the cave, and he came out, or he wasn't in there, isn't it? Isn't Easter about the resurrection? That's what we're talking about right now, right? Well, if you believe it or not, that's on you. But we all have to have something in ourselves that believes that there's a better something out there. And for me, it's God, right? I believe in God. I believe that He has a divine power that helps us to get out of whatever we need to do and guides us. And it's when we do the things that we want to do that gets us astray. When we take over our lives, we usually become what? We want certain things rather than living a good life, right? It's our, what is it? That it's the body versus what's supposed to be right. Again, I have a family. I have a place to sleep. I have food. I'm driving in a truck. I'm able to talk. I'm able to see. I'm able to hear. I'm blessed enough to have an internet to talk to other people. I'm blessed. This is a blessing. Everything that I'm doing right now is a blessing. And the only reason I have it is because of God. That's the only reason I have it. You can say, oh, you work and you have this and you have that. Nope. I'll tell you this. When I started believing in God and I started praying, and I told this story once in a while, not too often. I used to pray 3 times a day at one time. Man, I was doing great when I was praying 3 times a day. I don't pray that much anymore. Now I only pray once in a while. But I used to pray on my knees. On my knees. 3 times a day. I was doing a lot better than I am now, financially. Maybe I need to do that again. I just realized that while I'm talking to you guys, I realized what I was doing a long time ago, that I prayed 3 times a day on my knees. I was doing a lot better financially. I'm like, oh, maybe I need to go back to that. Yeah, it's a thing. It's one thing to pray while you're driving and say, oh, yeah, I wish I don't get a ticket. That's kind of a prayer. It's kind of a selfish prayer. But sitting down in the morning, asking for guidance. This is how I used to do it. In the morning when I would get up on my knees, I would ask for guidance. In the afternoon or so, when I was doing something and I was having some issues, I'd ask for guidance, right? Okay, how do I resolve this? And at night, I would look at the things and talk to God and say, what did I do? What did I do good? And thank you for the day that I had. And thank you for the blessings, right? Whether I met people, whether I had a good lunch, whether I could maybe help somebody out. But those are the things that always kept me towards the right path, right? Kept me going towards what, like Paris says, towards those good things. Towards the good things. Paris Lacquer, right? It wasn't religious because I'm a public school teacher. We didn't do religion in my classroom. But think about it. A young student, and I was already an old dude. I think I was in my 30s when I was teaching there. What? I'm 58. That's 20 years ago. It's a 38, right? I was a teacher when I was in my 30s, late 30s. She said it. Focus on the positive. Focus on the good. Just like God does. God wants us to work on the good stuff. He wants us to go forward. Yeah, you need to look back. You need to make sure you don't repeat your mistakes. But today is today. Today is right now. I need to do what I have to do what's right, to do what's positive. And the first way to be positive is to be grateful for what I have today. Grateful that there's people watching, and grateful that we can talk to each other. Grateful that we can do right by each other. Yeah, sometimes I don't do the right things and I swear and I get angry and I get frustrated and I talk smack and I do all of this stuff. You know, in the old days I would ask for forgiveness, and nowadays I don't do that too much anymore, and I need to start doing that again. That assessment, that inventory. What did I do good? What did I do bad? Help me, God, to correct the things that I did right? The serenity prayer, right? To know the difference between good and bad. And even when I do bad, how can I correct that bad? And hopefully next time I make that decision not to do those bad things, right? Or to do that thing and maybe speak a little bit better, right? Maybe I don't use bad words once in a while, right? Or think about it, another way to talk. That don't mean, though, allow bad things to happen. Because when I allow things to happen, bad things to happen, what happens? Then I'm part of that. I'm part of that. I'm part of allowing things to happen. That's one of the reasons I do this. People say, "Why?" There was a whole discussion yesterday with somebody named Harris. Yesterday, or did? Yeah, it was yesterday when I was talking about that, about the loyalty to the lie. Remember when I was at the river and somebody kept asking, "Why do I do this?" And I went into this whole explanation of why I do this. Right? I talked about that when I was on a murder scene 2 weeks ago. Why I do this? I do this because I can do it. I do this because God gives me the resources. God gives me the time. God gives me the knowledge and the ability to do this on a daily. One day to do. That's why I do this. The only reason I do this is because God allows me to do it. The only reason I'm doing this. And when it's time to switch, then it switches. Then I have something else to do. So what? Thanks for, I'm back. So what, we start talking about God? They cut me off? I get on this kick sometimes. I call it the God kick. What happened? I did all this God talk. They got rid of me, right? Yeah, that's the way life goes. Thanks. I'm back again. I don't know what happened. I got another phone, so I'm seeing if this works, right? But we'll see. I don't even know where I was. Oh, where I was. God gives me the things to do every day, right? He tells me what to do or guides me to what I have to do, and I do it. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But in the end, I'm just here to serve whatever is happening, right? I'm here to serve my God, right? And whatever purpose it is, whatever purpose it is. I know it's weird that I'm talking this way. Yeah, I don't know. People, you might not think I'm religious. I'm not really religious. I don't go to church that much. I don't read scripture that much. Once in a while I read scripture if I need to, especially if somebody starts reading scripture to me. I go, yeah, I don't know. I don't think that says that in the Bible, bro. Ever do the scripture thing where you guys go back and forth on scripture? Maybe we need to do scripture stuff, right? Maybe we need to do Bible reading. I don't know what we do. I used to go to a Bible school, the Baptists, right? Let's go over here. I'm going to show you something, right? Oh, we could have went through that alley there, but we not. Let's see what's we're going to go over here. Oh, and we missed that turn there. So maybe that's why they cut me off. I was doing all the God talk. Maybe Facebook don't want me talking about God that much, right? But it is what it is. I know why I'm here, and I know how I got here, and the only reason I got here is because of God. That's it. I know that, and you can say whatever you want and believe whatever you think you want to believe in, but I know why I'm here, and that's why I'm grateful. It's the days that I stop being grateful for what I have that I have problems. That's what I realized, too. The days that I stop being grateful for what I have, and I think of others, or I think of myself, or I start being selfish, or I start to think of these other things, that's when, it doesn't go right. But when I stay grateful, when I stay focused on what I have that's good in my life, then it's good. It's just like Paris said, I'm going to keep repeating, Paris Slacker, why do you focus on the negative? No, this is what we're going to do. We're going to focus on the negative here, right? A little bit. Let's see here. I'm going to try to do it a different way so that I have the video here, right? I'm going to show you this. This is, let's see here, right? How do we do this, right? SubX.News, 5:20 p.m. See where I'm at? This This is an old famous restaurant here. See this here? Loomis and Madison. And the first thing people are gonna say when I post this video is gonna say, oh, you're this, you're that. You don't know nothing. They had a fire. You don't know nothing. Well, I don't know. How long ago was the fire here? If business was good, if business was good, why is there plywood up here? This is where at Madison and Loomis. The Palace Grill. I've eaten in here for many, many times. Many times I've eaten here. And now it's what? Boarded up in plywood. Did you see that there? Yeah, they had a fire here. It was something that happened. But if you're doing good in business, you would what? Reopen, right? The business isn't good, so they're not reopened. That's the tell. That's what tells you that, right? See that here? It's all plywooded up. It's shut down. This ain't open anymore. You can, again, argue what? It had a fire and it's this or that. But it's not the fire that closed this place. It's the economy that closed this place. It's people who don't tell the truth of what's happening. And that's what we're talking about here today on Good Friday. Being grateful. But one of the things about being grateful is what? Being honest. And the only person that we need to be honest with is what? Ourselves. Because God knows the truth. Yeah, it's Good Friday. You're getting God stuff today from me. There you go. Palace Grill, shut down over here. Madison and Loomis. Good Friday, 5:22 p.m. There you go, plywood special. Yeah. SubX.News, 5:20 p.m. Grab a Bible, read 3:6. For God so loved the world that... Oh man, wait, I got that. If the economy was so great, why is this place still closed? 5:22 p.m., April 3rd, 2026. Loomis and Madison, the Palace Grill. Let me just post this and then I'll get to the scripture there, right? We're going to keep going. How about that? I like scripture. Ain't nothing wrong with scripture. There's some good books I read long time ago. I need to pull them out. They're in my shelves somewhere. Let's see what... Mizidor, grab a Bible, read John 3:6. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish, but will have everlasting life. That's what we're talking about today, right? The resurrection. I think that's what Good Friday is about. Thank you for that, Mizidor. And we can argue and we can talk and you can have philosophy talks. But when you give up your only son for our sins and he dies on the cross so everybody sees, it's kind of a sign, right? That if we're selfish, we can't get to the better place. And when we're unselfish and we think of others and we think about what we have today is all we need, then we have a better life. Like I said, when I used to pray 3 times a day, I took the time every day, twice at least on my knees, twice a day, morning and at night on my knees. I lived better and I had more money. I lived better and I had more money. I ain't saying I'm living bad today. I'm not saying I'm ungrateful for what I have today. I'm not saying I'm living a bad life today. I'm just saying it's a fact. When I did that, I had more. I had more. God gave me more. I don't know why. I don't know how, but I had more. I have no idea why that happened. I don't know why it happened. But I know when I did more praying, I had more. It's weird. Now I do more, I don't know what I do now. I do a lot of stuff, right? But I don't spend that time talking to God as much as I did. There you go. It's strange. So when I took more time out to be with God and to speak with him or her, whatever you want to, some people believe God might be a woman, I don't know, it might be whatever, right? I'm going to get into those arguments. When I spent more time with God, he gave me more. It's weird. That's strange. Is it because I'm not thinking about myself that I take myself out of it? Just like Ms. Zidor just said, when he gave his son and he died on the cross, he gave up his own blood for us, for our sins. We didn't give anything for our sins because we're sinning. But he says, you know what? That's my son there. He died because of your sins, and now you're forgiven. All you have to do is believe. Believe there's something up there. Believe there's something bigger than us. Something that we don't know what is out there. We can't control it. We don't control it. Because when we try to control it, that's when we have less. Again, when I prayed 3 times a day, I had more. More. I'm not saying I don't have a lot today, but I know what I had before and I know what I have now. And I'm grateful for what I have today. Trust me, I am. But when I look back at when I do these talks once in a while about religion and what I used to do, I think about that, right? I think about when I focused on God, when I focused on being grateful, when I focused on not being selfish and not doing what I wanted to do, that what God gave me the purpose to do on a daily basis, I had more. Maybe it's because I didn't think about myself, just like God giving up his son to die on the cross. I don't know why it is. I can't explain that. Maybe I'll never know that. Maybe it's not mine to know, right? Maybe I just need to believe. Let go and let God, right? Maybe if I keep questioning it, that's my problem. Maybe if I keep ignoring it, that's my problem. Maybe if I don't think about it, that's my problem. Maybe I need to think more about it. Believe in it. Be grateful. Know that there's something bigger than me that's guiding me on my daily journey to do what's right. Not for me. Not for me. Because I already have what's right for me. I already got up. I could breathe. I could talk. I can hear. I can see. I have people around me. It's not up to me. It's up to me to do what God asking me to do. Not up to me to decide what I want to do. It's when I'm trying to do that, that's when I fail. When I try to do what I want to do, that's when I become failing. Because I'm doing for myself rather than doing for God. Rather than doing for what I need to do for this divine purpose, or whatever it is for me. I have no clue what that divine purpose is. I don't have no idea what that is. I have no clue what it is. None. Zero. I don't know what that is. I don't know what my purpose is. All I know is I get up, try to do right, try to be right, and try to seek guidance. 5:30 news. Let's listen to the news a little bit.
Road rage incident. Sports Sox top the Jays in extra innings to win their home opener. Cubs on the road, currently losing 4-1 to the Guardians. Bulls in New York to take on the Knicks. Markets closed for Good Friday. Cloudy skies across the board right now. Temperatures anywhere between 40 and 50 right now. The news continues at 5:31. President Trump has been briefed on that downing of an F-15 over Iran. The pilot of that plane has been rescued while search efforts continue for the weapons officer. Here's CBS's Natalie Brand with the very latest.
CBS News has confirmed U.S. forces rescued one of the 2 crew members of an F-15 that went down over Iran. Social media video showed 2 Black Hawk helicopters and a C-130 in what appeared to be part of the effort.
Operating low and pretty slow in broad daylight over Iran looking for this downed aircrew. It's the kind of thing you would only do in a situation where you were willing to assume extraordinary risk because your objective is so important, namely saving some lives here.
An A-10 Warthog involved in the recovery efforts was also hit. The pilot ejected, though, over the Persian Gulf and was successfully recovered. Well, the president is looking for a massive increase in defense spending and looks to slash other programs.
The budget, which comes amid the U.S.-led war against Iran, includes $1.5 billion in defense spending. It's the largest defense budget request in decades. Even before the war, President Trump had made it clear he wanted to increase defense spending and cut domestic spending. This budget reflects those priorities, with a 10% cut in healthcare and other programs like Medicare and Medicaid. Any presidential budget is a blueprint of spending goals. Congress, which has the power of the purse, will reflect on that request, but is not required to follow it. Lindy Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
As Cuba faces extreme pressure amidst an oil embargo by the U.S., there was a bit of joy for some on this Good Friday.
Families wrapped their arms around freed loved ones outside Cuban prisons after Cuba's government said it was going to release 2,010 prisoners in what it says is a humanitarian gesture ahead of Holy Week. Those released say they were surprised when they were called name by name and were told they were free to go. 20-year-old Emilio Alejandro Leyva Arias, jailed for robbery, was among those released. His mother cried as she hugged him and says, "This is how all mothers who are seeing their sons being freed should feel today." 20-year-old Damian Farenius, also jailed for robbery, proudly showed off his release papers, saying, "This is freedom, a pardon, owing nothing to anyone. I'm heading out into the world." I'm Lisa Dwyer.
It's 5:33. Whether it's receiving a parking violation or speeding tickets, a new report says City of Chicago employees are just like us. Expects that they owe the city millions of dollars as well.
More than 12,000 city employees collectively owe Chicago $19 million in unpaid traffic tickets, fines, and water bills. The Sun-Times used the Illinois Freedom of Information Act to obtain records from the mayor's finance department and notes that the $19 million is a small fraction of the $8 billion of unpaid debt the city has failed to collect over the past 30 years. Most of the employees work for Chicago Public Schools and the CTA. The Sun-Times says one city worker owes nearly $200,000. Terry Keshner, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
A high-powered weapon was directed at a mother and her young children.
Madison police responded to South Yale Avenue just before midnight, April 1st. Investigators say a woman and her 5 kids were in their driveway when a car rolled past and a teenage passenger aimed a laser-sighted firearm directly at them while throwing up gang signs and yelling King Love. Officers traced the car to a 16-year-old suspect, and when they arrived at his home, his mother gave them permission to search. Inside his bedroom, they say they found a loaded handgun equipped with a drum magazine and a laser sight lying on his bed. Now, the teen is charged with multiple felony weapons counts and was already on juvenile probation at the time. The judge ordered him detained until his next court appearance on April 10th. Glenn Marshall, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
The man has been sentenced to 95 years in prison for shooting and killing an Illinois state trooper back in 2023. Cristobal Santana was convicted on multiple felony charges in October of 2023. Illinois state trooper Dakota Chapman Green pulled Santana over during a traffic stop in Springfield. Prosecutors say Santana fired several gunshot at Chapman Green and that hit him multiple times with a handgun. The trooper suffered severe injuries, including a fractured skull, but ultimately made a full recovery. Today, religious ministers are back at the Broadview ICE Detention Center to provide some prayer services to detainees.
14 detained immigrants, 11 men and 3 women, shackled and handcuffed, were separated in groups for 3 consecutive Holy Thursday communion and foot washing services at the ICE facility in Broadview. Elder David Inzauskas.
Many of the detainees themselves were crying. They were visibly moved. It really meant something for them to have the church present to them, to have, in a way, Jesus present to them in a moment of such intense suffering.
Father Inzauskas says it was really heartbreaking for him to see a deep level of dehumanization.
There's something bad happening.
In the second group, the first detainee...
Something really bad's happening.
Standing up against
something just happened really bad over here.
To face the wall instead of facing us, as if he were being punished.
Watch where he turns, right?
Being allowed to offer religious services to detainees through Easter.
Something really bad happened over there.
News Radio 1059 WBBM.
Choose Pella for premium quality window and
turning
door
over there. Something just happened over here.
For a limited time, get up to 25% off windows and doors. Visit Pella.com/radio. Pella.com.
I got my radio on.
Alicia was having health problems. Got behind on her taxes.
They went on that light over there, right?
She called Civic Tax Relief and saved over $15,000. Civic Tax Relief is a profession.
The problem with bringing the Bible back in their school, there's nothing wrong with it. It's, you gotta respect other religions, right? So you can teach morality and also spirituality. There's a way to do it so you don't pick and go. There you go. Something just happened on the bus over here. There you go. CTA bus. SubX.News on the spot report. We're at Kedzie and we're by the school here, right? SubX.News. Something just went down over here on the bus. There you go, right? There you go. SubX.News right there, man. Something just went out down on the bus here, right? There you go. We're gonna go over here so we can see what's going on, right? But something just happened, right? Maybe a robbery or something? There you go, right?
Alright, Cicero PD currently has Star Chase active on one of their vehicles. They want complete eluding eastbound 290 at Central Park. Eastbound 290 at Central Park. It's going to be a silver Ford Fusion. Pennsylvania plate of King Boy 8500. King Boy 8500.
Let me figure out what happened here. My favorite graffiti here, right?
One, we copy. If you get information of it heading southbound on the Ryan, let us know. We'll intercept. Alright, Tim.
They're right here on Central Park. West Side's hot today. Let's keep moving, right? I'll put the radio calls on. That's what I said we're gonna do, right? I gotta redo the radio, right? So I gotta pull over sometimes and figure out what I gotta do, right? So something here happened at the bus stop, it looks like, right? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna figure out if there's a call about it. What I'm doing now is figure out if there's a call about this, and then we're gonna figure out that stolen car there, right? We're gonna go and see the cops. They interviewed those people at the bus stop there. You see that there? They're leaving now, right? Let's put on the radio calls, and we're gonna start doing some crime chasing. We'll go back. It's 5:40 when we go to about 5 o'clock, right?
All right, they're still eastbound 290 at Western with this vehicle. Eastbound 290 Western.
All right, that is 09585.
7386 David.
7386 David.
Felony vehicle out of Cicero, eastbound 290 by Kedzie.
Is 10122.
7391 David. Can I get two of numbers for a street stop over here at Cermak, Chinatown? All right, your first street stop 09595. Your second street stop 09596. Perfect.
7391 David. 7391 David. Another street stop at Cermak Road, please. Yep, it is 10131.
7383 boy.
7383 7383. Yep, it is 10141.
7386 Charlie. 7386 Charlie.
It looks like this is taken care of here, right?
Yep, that is 09623. 7387 David. 787 David. We're at Belmont 49.
Alright, they're eastbound of the 290 with the silver Ford Fusion from Ashland. But he has his left turn signal on, so we're going to see what he does.
He's on Ashland here. And we go find this stolen car, and I'll jump the...
One, we copy. If you get information of it heading southbound on the Ryan, let us know. We'll intercept it.
It's at Ashland, they said.
7383 Eddie. 7383. Yep, it is 10141.
Still at 290. Looks like it might be getting Ida B. Wells. He has the turn signal on.
On Ida B. Wells, stolen car going into a felony vehicle going into downtown. You just heard it, right?
Somebody behind. Yeah, Cicero said they were still following him in an unmarked. That's probably going to be them. Alright, it sounds like he's actually going to be taking, he's going to go north. They say he's taking the 90 west.
The 290 with the silver Ford Fusion from Ashland. But he has his left turn signal on by
Alright, occupied 2 times. It's a male Hispanic driver with heavy face tattoos and a female driver. Or, I'm sorry, a female passenger.
The vehicle is heading into 90. Looks like it might be getting 90 as well. He has the turn signal.
4719 is here, clear? Yeah, go right ahead. Hey, Scott, can you hold me down as well as 4713 at the United Center for the concert tonight?
2 Hispanics, 1 male, 1 female. Male has face tattoos. He's going into downtown on Ida B. Wells now.
Alright, yeah, no problem. Also, just be advised, he's going to be, this vehicle is now northbound on the Kennedy underneath Jackson.
Northbound on the Kennedy near Jackson.
Also fled from them earlier today.
Female driver. Or, I'm sorry, female passenger.
Hey, squad, just for information, we are headed up to that direction. Alright,
So we have a felony vehicle on our highways right now. Out of Cicero.
Thank you.
I got him.
Alright, yeah, no problem. Also, just be advised, he's going to be, this vehicle is now northbound on the Kennedy underneath Jackson. 25th District just let us know that it also fled from them earlier today.
7353.
So you hear it fled from a bunch of cops.
We are headed up in that direction. Yep, it is 10177.
Also fled from CPD earlier in the day, so they've been driving around.
Alright, the Silver Ford Fusion there.
All day, Silver Ford Fusion.
Northbound on the Kennedy under Washington. He's driving
Silver
down the shoulder
Ford Fusion.
Alright, the Silver Ford Fusion there. They still got eyes on it. Northbound on the Kennedy
Cicero.
under Washington. He's driving on the shoulder here.
Houston, one on the citywide person with a knife at the Jewels, 1340 South Canal. There's a man in front of the Jewels waving a handheld saw. He's a male Hispanic, late 20s, wearing a blue coat. Nothing further, zone 4 clear.
Adam.
Houston, one on the citywide person with a knife at the Jewels, 1340 South Canal. There's a man in front of the Jewels waving a handheld saw. He's a male Hispanic, late 20s, wearing a blue coat. Nothing further, zone 4 clear.
738, David. About one, check. 52 for airline. Yep. 10197. 7353. 735. Number for Howard on the right. Yep, it is 10177. Alright, the Silver Ford Fusion there, they still got eyes on it. Northbound on the Kennedy under Washington. He's driving on the shoulder. Northbound on the Kennedy under Ogden. Again, this is a Silver Ford Fusion, Pennsylvania.
Houston, one on the citywide person with a knife at the Jewels, 1340 South Canal. There's a man in front of the Jewels waving a handheld saw. He's a male Hispanic, late 20s, wearing a blue coat. Nothing further, zone 4 clear.
From both Cicero and CPD.
Maybe we'll go. They might bust that car on the Kennedy. Maybe I'll go backwards, right?
Any event for O'Hare Blue Line, please. Yep, that is.
He's in the middle of rush hour traffic.
Okay, sure, Dave. 738, northbound now, under division, northbound Kennedy under division. Yep.
Northbound Kennedy under division. Northbound Kennedy under division.
10197.
Felony vehicle out of Cicero. Occupied 2 times, male and female, Hispanics.
Alright,
they've been driving around all day.
Kennedy under Ogden right now. Northbound on the Kennedy under Ogden. Again, this is a Silver Ford Fusion, Pennsylvania tags on it of King Boy 8500. It has rear bumper damage.
Silver Ford Fusion with Pennsylvania tags. What is the tag?
And it has fled from both Cicero and CP. Alright, they're still northbound on the Kennedy under Ogden right now. Northbound on the Kennedy under Ogden. Again, this is a Silver Ford Fusion, Pennsylvania tags on it of King Boy 8500. It has rear bumper damage and has fled from both Cicero and CPD. Alright, vehicle still northbound. Alright, just adjust a little bit. Northbound now under division. Alright, they're still northbound on the Kennedy under Ogden right now. Northbound on the Kennedy under Ogden. Again, this is a Silver Ford Fusion, Pennsylvania tags on it of King Boy 8500. It has rear bumper damage and has fled from both Cicero and CPD. Alright, Piers 1 does have eyes now on Esperin. Again, northbound on the Kennedy from Damon now. Alright, just adjust a little bit. Northbound now under division. Northbound Kennedy under division.
Looks like they might stop it on the highway, right?
Alright, vehicle still northbound of the Kennedy, approaching Damon. They're in lane 2.
Have eyes on a Ford Fusion going northbound on I-90.
Yep, we got you northbound on the Kennedy from Fullerton. Again, this is a Silver Ford Fusion. It's got rear bumper damage. It's Alright, PH1 does have eyes now on Espern. Get northbound on the Kennedy from Dan, and now PH1 does have eyes.
King Boy, 8500.
PH1, Cityway, do you need us to transmit, or are you copying us on?
Felony vehicle.
PH1 is Cityway.
I'm copying you on it.
Felony vehicle.
PH1, we have eyes on a Ford Fusion going north.
Felony vehicle.
PH1, Cityway, do you need us to transmit, or are you copying us on Espern?
I'm copying you on Espern, thank you.
They were gonna be right here somewhere. I might be a little too far west.
Pretty good clip here. Northbound on the Kennedy from Sacramento. Northbound Kennedy from Sacramento.
We might see them. That's where we're going. Felony vehicle out of Cicero, occupied 2 times, male, female, male has tattoos on his face. Been driving around all day. Pennsylvania plates. And even CPD even had him before and they ran away from CPD. Belmont, lane 3. On to Kennedy. Watch out if you're out on the roads.
Alright, yep, he's going to be exiting Kimball. Exiting Kimball.
Exiting Kimball.
Exiting here. He's coming up to Belmont in lane 3.
There you go, man. They're doing whatever they're doing over here. See that there?
Alright, he's still got a pretty good clip here. Northbound on the Kennedy from Sacramento. Northbound Kennedy from Sacramento.
Driving the wrong way on the off-ramp now.
Wrong way on the off-ramp.
Alright, might be exiting here. He's coming up to Belmont in lane 3.
I don't know why he did that. Alright, he went the wrong way on the off-ramp and now he's back.
Exiting Kimball.
Kennedy. Northbound on the Kennedy from Kimball again.
He's doing something weird. Doing a U-turn in the... Driving the wrong way on the off-ramp now.
You're hearing it live, right? That's live you're hearing, right? It's a rebroadcast, but it's right now happening.
Oh, that might be why he did that. Alright, he's exiting Addison. Exiting Addison.
Exiting Addison, he went the wrong way on the off-ramp. Exiting Addison, going wrong way on the off-ramp. Oh, man. That's right here, right?
Oh, that might be why he did that. Alright, he's exiting Addison. Exiting Addison.
And now it's traffic, and now they're going to go into whatever they're doing.
Back on again. Alright, so northbound Kennedy again from Addison. He did not exit. Northbound Kennedy from Addison.
There you go. You're hearing it right here, right? We're going to try to meet up with it. Traffic is horrible.
Nope, he jumped back on again. Alright, so northbound Kennedy again from Addison. He did not exit. Northbound Kennedy from Addison.
It's horrible, this traffic. It's bad here. Look, they're doing drugs right here. This is where they shot the guy. Look at that guy doing, he's jacked up there. Dancing.
Alright, he's driving up the off-ramp at Addison. He's going the wrong way to go up the off-ramp at Addison to get up to Addison. Yeah, now westbound on Addison. Westbound on Addison.
See them? They're doing their bullshit out there, right? Selling drugs. That's where they shot somebody.
Alright, he's driving up the off-ramp at Addison. He's going the wrong way to go up the off-ramp at Addison to get up to Addison.
Southbound Lawndale right away.
Yeah, now westbound on Addison. Westbound
Southbound on Lawndale. Southbound on Lawndale.
Yeah, westbound Addison from Avondale.
Southbound on Lawndale.
Yeah, southbound Lawndale right away. Southbound on Lawndale.
Wow, my phone ain't working when I'm typing this stuff. He's right over here. We might meet up with him. Silver Ford Fusion, right? It's right here somewhere. Lawndale's right over here, ain't it? Right here somewhere.
Alright, southbound Lawndale at Roscoe now. PH1 still has eyes on the vehicle. A couple of
So they're north. They're north of us, right?
On this car.
They're north of us here, right? We're at Spalding. Lawndale's over here. They're north of us.
Southbound Lawndale at Roscoe now. PH1 still has eyes on the vehicle.
Lawndale and Roscoe.
Southbound Lawndale and
Lawndale and Roscoe.
Cicero units are also keeping up. Again, they do have star chase on this car. And continuing southbound Lawndale.
They have star chase on this car.
Alright, eastbound Belmont now from Lawndale. Nope, southbound on Lawndale again. Southbound Lawndale from Belmont now. And he's in the alley. T-alley, Belmont and Lawndale.
Belmont and Lawndale. We're far from that, right?
Alright, eastbound Belmont now from Lawndale. Oh, nope, southbound on Lawndale again. Southbound Lawndale from Belmont now.
And now southbound on Monticello from Belmont.
And he's in the alley. T-alley,
Belmont and Lawndale in the alley.
Street boy, yeah, you okay? 79 in the red line.
And Lawndale.
In the alley.
We just have a disturbance.
And then they went on Monticello.
Let's call it,
Alright, 10-4, I'll get one roll for
And
you.
then on to Monticello. That's straight north of here.
And now southbound on Monticello from Belmont.
We might see him straight on. Where am I on? Bowman.
You okay?
Lawndale's next to me, right?
Very good. We just have a disturbance. Drunk lady assaulted passenger. Alright, 10-4, I'll get one roll for you.
Kind of taking around all over the place. Northbound Milwaukee from Monticello.
Now he's on Milwaukee. Northbound Milwaukee from Monticello. Northbound Milwaukee from Monticello. So he's in the middle of rush hour traffic.
He's kind of snaking around all over the place. Northbound Milwaukee from Monticello. Northbound Milwaukee from Monticello for that Silver Ford Fusion. 738, boy, you have 624.
Yeah, he's all kind of staying in that area. Ridgeway and Milwaukee, now east. I'm going to start making my way to that direction. 4758, 10-4.
My other phone
he's all kind of staying in that area. Ridgeway and Milwaukee, now east.
Stay by for just a second. Hold on, passengers bailing. Yeah, south of Barry between Lawndale and Monticello, the female passenger is exiting. Alright, the
female passenger is bailing over by Monticello and Barry.
Heavy face tattoos.
4758, I'm going to start making my way that direction. 4758, 10-4. 7386 Charlie, is that clear?
Southbound Monticello from Barry. Southbound Monticello from Barry. Again, the male Hispanic driver with heavy face tattoos still in the vehicle. Female passenger exited the vehicle between Lawndale and Monticello.
Alright, the vehicle's taking off again. Again, the driver was a male Hispanic with heavy face tattoos.
It's gonna be right here somewhere.
They're back southbound Monticello from Barry. Southbound Monticello from Barry. Again, the male Hispanic driver with heavy face tattoos still in the vehicle. Female passenger exited the vehicle between Lawndale and Monticello. And now northbound Central Park from Milwaukee. Northbound Central Park from Milwaukee.
We're right here. What did they say last time? Central Park, right? It's right here somewhere. The guy's driving around somewhere here. My other phone that's supposed to get... I got to get me a new phone. I got to bite the bullet and put it on a credit card. This other phone I got is just jumping around. I can't deal with it no more, man. It's what I talked about earlier. We just got to get rid of stuff sometimes, right? Yeah, it's not working. This other phone, it's supposed to be just for this. It's not working. Listen up, where are they at?
All right, they're back southbound Monticello from Barry. Southbound Monticello from Barry. Again, the male Hispanic driver with heavy face tattoos still in the vehicle. Female passenger exited the vehicle. Needs to meet Lawndale and Monticello. And northbound Central Park from Milwaukee. Northbound Central Park from Milwaukee.
Alright, what unit came up and said they have this female?
Northbound Central Park from Milwaukee.
Unit, citywide 1.
Northbound.
Female in Monticello.
Alright, what unit is the female?
737
Alright, what unit came up and said they have this
Female in custody, Monticello and May.
That number coming in.
female?
10381, 10381.
736 Charlie. 733 Eddie.
733.
Second 17 red line.
Hey, where in the red 83 Eddie?
37 red line.
Event number is 10389.
7387 Adam. There.
7 Adam. Go ahead.
736 Charlie.
That number Cumberland Security Lab. Proper, Clark and Lake.
10381. 10381.
736 Charlie. 733 Eddie.
733.
Maybe Barry in Monticello, right?
7387
Because that's where he dropped her off.
Where in the red 83 Eddie?
37 Trip vision, please.
Event number is 10389. 10389.
7386 Charlie.
736 Charlie.
Can I get a number for Upper Clark and Lake?
Hey, Blue Line Addison 10409. 10409, PH1.
This one ISP has those good times in custody.
737 Eddie.
Time for it to the same.
I got somebody in custody.
Good job.
You guys generate the best number for this assistant.
I got to get rid of this phone, man. It's just jumping all around. I can't get the right directions on it.
Hey, Blue Line Addison's going to be 10409. 10409. PH1.
This one ISP has those good times in custody, 2 times detained. Barry and Monticello.
Barry and Monticello.
Time for
I can't. It won't take the address in my phone.
Barry and Monticello. Good job.
You guys generate the best number for this assistant.
Yes, on this burner, then a 10100.
My phone won't take. My phone won't take the.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Fuck. Google shit. You know, sometimes Google is bad, right? Barry and Monticello. I gotta be right here, right? Barry and Monticello. Wow, my phone don't take what I'm telling it to do. It's right here. We're a few feet from here. See? I knew where I'm going. I used to live on Barry, right here, right? But my other phone, look at this. My other phone don't take the directions. See that there? So this phone doesn't take the directions. See that there? No results found. Look at that. 2 phones, 2 different answers. Look at that. See that there? So it shows you that there's problems with our internet systems, right? That's the problem with the internet. It doesn't work right.
Marine 3.
Two in custody, Barry and Monticello.
Fair, and then 1 for filtration plan.
They were running around this area here, right? Somebody said Latin Kings. I don't know. Is there Latin Kings up here? He was dropping us
Series 10442, 10442. Filtration print is 10445, 10445.
Seven 387.
So this is a felony vehicle out of Cicero.
7388.
88 Charlie, yeah, we got him off the track. Clear.
8 miles off the tracks.
790.
SubX.News. A felony vehicle out of Cicero. 2 in custody.
The brain surge is off the track over here on the blue line, so can I get a number for a ride eastbound from left?
Are you going to be on the train ride eastbound Cicero going to where? And what car number?
Number 7184. It's going to be eastbound to Pulaski.
I don't know if I'm going to get to it from here. I should probably turn here, but no, turn on red. It's right down the street. I probably ain't going to get to it from there. I'm going to go this way. We're going to go up to Barry. And we're going to go across. We're going to try to get to it from this side. Right? It's a felony stop. Cicero should be here. Face tattoo guy. Ford Fusion Silver. Face tattoo guy and a female. Female bailed in the alley, then he drove around, they got him, right? Cicero should be on scene. Those 2 people?
Positive on the money, Steph 10-4.
7386 out.
Motherfucker! My fucking phone cut off. Here we are, right here, SubX.News.
Left, we're going to go look for a lunch location. I'll let you know when we get there.
All right, now 7383 Adam, correct? Looking for a lunch location? All right, let us know. Are you make sure to come?
Sorry about my swearing.
7386 David.
Chicago Red Line.
SubX.News on the spot reporting. Felony vehicle out of Cicero stopped here. They were driving all day long. They finally got him over here on Barry and Monticello. 2 in custody, male and female. Looks like they crashed here, right? SubX.News on the spot reporting. Felony vehicle out of Cicero. They've been driving all day long here, right? SubX.News.
Hell no, for what? That's not a real fucking gun at all. It costs $17. It ain't, hell no, that's not a fucking real gun. Why you riding with a big gun? You can't see this part, they play. What's the pellet gun? BB gun? No, it's like
SubX.News. Felony vehicle out of Cicero. Crashed here on Berry and Monticello. State Police, Cicero Police, and Chicago Police.
I don't know shit is everywhere. That's why I keep
Searching for some gun. They say there's some gun in the car, but it's a fake gun.
Her ID's in the car. You know where? Says it's in her purse. Mamá, ¿qué está diciendo Diana?
That's his mother there. So he lives here, or somebody's here, relatives. There's somebody's purse there. So it's the female's purse. There's a male and female in here. He was driving.
I just heard him say something. You know what you're wearing? That's 2026. Your son's really safety. Yes, we're shaking. Are you on parole? Are you on probation? Okay. It seems a lot worse than what it is. He said he's warned, and the other one he said some other shit, and she said something. What the fuck? What's going on, bro? Gee, man. Like, what the fuck?
They're searching the car over there, right? Car ended up over here, right? SubX.News on the spy report. It's a car out of Cicero, felony vehicle. Don't know what the felony was about. He was the driver, dropped off a female. They got a bulletproof vest in there. See that? That car there. Cicero police are here, state police are here, and CPD are here. There you go. There's the glass is smashed up from the car there when they were stopping. You see that there? And a female was dropped off in the alley over here. They're searching the car here. SubX.News on the spot reporting. Felony vehicle out of Cicero. That lady there is related to him. He's talking to her mama. I don't know if it really is. So that's the guy that was the driver. We're searching the car right there. A bunch of people over there.
I pay a lot of shit, everything pretty much for it. My mom helps me with all this. I'm not working for it. I'm a lawyer. My daughter took my phone because I still have a phone.
It's a felony vehicle out of Cicero. It's a nice spot. What's up, my brother? There you go. They smashed out the glass there. See that there? They smashed out the glass. 1, 2 over there. car. There's she, right? Yeah, 1, 2. Searching the car right there. SubX.News. Felony stop here. Barry and Monticello, north side of Chicago. Female was dropped off. She's in custody. He's in custody. State police are there. There's Cicero police here too. Cicero was unmarked. They were following him. He also had something going on with CPD in the 5th district, they said earlier today, and he ran from them. They were driving all around here all day and dropped off somebody here. There you go, right? There's the glass busted out from the car. See that there? He's going into custody over there, right? So state police taking him into custody. There you go, right? So the state's taking this case.
I love you. No, dude, what the fuck did you tell him? Please tell me, dude. What are you talking about? I just heard him say it, man. What the fuck? Tell him I ain't do shit.
I think these guys are Cicero. I think these are Cicero guys here.
Baby, babe, listen. Babe, just stop, Gordo. Baby, listen, it's okay.
SubX.News, Friday night, afternoon.
No, you're not. Please, no, you're not. I need an ambulance. I need an ambulance. No, my hands hurt. Right, my chest hurt. I can't breathe. Yeah, hey, get out of my way. Get out. Come on. That's what fucked me up.
Because you refuse to go in.
Please tell me what the fuck is going on. Please tell me what the fuck is going on. I didn't do shit. Y'all started chasing me? For what reason? Y'all can't tell me? Just fucking tell me, bro. Hold on. I didn't do shit, hold on.
This is her, man.
No, they're not. Hold on. I wouldn't have. What the fuck did I do? I didn't do shit. I just got out like 2 days ago. I want to go back for what?
Baby, you didn't do anything wrong.
No, man.
Why are you worried?
Fuck, no. I can't go back to the zone. You know what I'm saying, bro? No, you don't, B. That's what I fucking ran.
You didn't do anything wrong. I mean, you did take off, but I mean, you don't have no drugs, no guns. I mean, that's not something.
Yeah, no, hold on. No,
Muévete.
Corre. No.
Vete.
I can't.
Corre. Baby, listen. I know you didn't do anything. All you had to do was just stop it. That's what, because they want to see what's going on. Because you were in the middle of the street. That's what you said. You're trying to say.
What?
I don't know, baby.
They see the car, they just. How? I've never done this. Because everybody's doing nothing shit. No, ma, you tell ma.
Babe, we'll bond you out or we'll do whatever we want. Everything happens I'm not saying nothing, baby. I'm not saying nothing. I want you to do better because I love you. Okay. He has really bad asthma. That's what it is.
What happened? He said something about how what's going. Look, they know, bro.
Nobody said nothing about the house.
SubX.News here. Person in custody, felony vehicle out of Cicero. They were driving around, don't know what the felony was. They drove all around. Finally, they started tracking them on the 290. They get off of 290. Then they went on the Kennedy. They weren't going in the wrong directions. They were going on different exits. Finally, they dropped somebody off here in the alley. It might be that lady talking there. And then they knocked out the windows there and put that guy in custody. He said something that he doesn't want to go back to the joint. He's been out for 3 days. So I don't know what his story is. I don't know what's going on. So all I know is what I've heard.
You didn't find nothing on you. I know you didn't do nothing. So why are they gonna keep you? You act like you hurt somebody or you did something. You didn't do nothing like that. So why are you tripping? You didn't hit no car. You didn't do nothing.
They just said you're going home. They're going home. They let me home right there. There's my home right there. There's my home right there. You gotta go and do paperwork. A warrant for what? I asked. Yeah, you said you're not on parole, you're on probation.
He's not on probation. He's not on parole.
You go ahead, tell him. You guys told me to come back. Why
What are
would
you
you do
talking
that?
about? I don't know why you're blaming me for something. I didn't do anything wrong. Bro, I can't even fucking go to work now because you got the fucking card to put over me.
Now you see? I didn't even do shit. You see it yet? You hit me the fucking card. Ven, mira. Ven, come here.
All kinds of stuff happening. SubX.News on the spot reported. So we have three jurisdictions here: Cicero, State Police, and CPD. And he's in custody. Don't know what their issue is. They did follow him. He was going in wrong directions. The helicopter was tracking him and all of that. They said it was a felony vehicle.
I see them. I know they were crushed.
He said, listen, the only reason...
I see two of the cars. They're two here. They're two here. I don't want to know why.
Maybe they're telling you why. Because when
you know what?
police
You know what?
stop...
Yeah, I know y'all know. Y'all can't eat something.
Well, you are fucking on drugs, bro. Why would you think that? Maybe I'm just saying, we will not do that to you. What are you saying?
Y'all prefer me to just start coming to the drugs. You know what I'm saying? You gotta fucking... You know it.
Nobody is... Nobody...
Those guys are Cicero guys. 1 and 2 are Cicero guys. You got State Police, and then you got Chicago Police here. So you have 3 different jurisdictions right here. We're on Berry and Monticello. This is a felony vehicle. I'll show you the car. It's over there. They knocked out the windows. He was running around all day long, eluding the police. Finally, they caught up with him here. He was on and off the expressways, going on the wrong direction of ramps. They tried to pull him over a couple of times. He didn't stop. Finally, they got him over here. A female was dropped off in the alley. I think that's the lady talking. And then when he did that, they knocked out his windows and put him in custody. SubX.News on the spy report. And there's the ambulance. We're gonna go check them out right there.
I want to know, bro. Like this shit. I love you, my nigga. I love you. I love you, bro. Listen. Bro. You good?
I love you.
You be good, bro. Good chick. I love you. Go to your date. I heard him say all types of shit. He said something. I don't know. What the fuck is going on? I love you, Papa. Hey, I love you. Papá, te lo juro, te lo juro. Yo no te hice nada, yo nunca te hice nada. No, yo nunca te hice nada, yo no escuché a ellos, yo nunca te hice nada, güey. Es lo que me duele más, es lo que me duele más. Es lo que me duele, mira, escúchame. I love you, my nigga, I love you. I gotta taste me. I'll make him taste me. Nah, that's fucked up, bitch, because I ain't do shit, man. You're making your mouth hurt. Get him which one? Get checked out. You make your mouth taste me, my nigga. You hit me in my head. Yeah, hit me in my head, right? Yeah, hit me in my head. Yeah, hit me. You hit me in my head. No, it was Tennessee. You hit me in my fucking head. You hit me in my head. Nah, taste me. Taste me. I want to stop fighting. Taste me. Taste me. I didn't do shit to my charges. You're supposed to read my charges. Be my rights to no, ain't no later. Ain't no later. Ain't no later. Yeah, I get it. No. Hit me. You hit me the head already. Yes, you did. You hit me. You hit me right there, right? You hit me, right? You hit me, right? Hit me again. Hit me again. Why you hit me? Why y'all hit me? Why y'all hit me? I'm gonna make that decision. What the fuck y'all hit me for? Y'all did so much y'all hit me for? Why y'all check? No, I want to know what the fuck is going on. I want to make that taste me. I want to make that fuck me up. Wait, where's he at? Where's the guy that hit me? Where's the guy that hit me?
I'm backing up here, man.
Oh, wait, I know you. I know you. I know you. I don't know how I know you, but I know you. Dime, pues, ¿qué güey? Dime, ¿cómo puedes decir cómo?
Martín, ¿tú hiciste nada? No hizo nada.
No hice nada, güey. Yare, te lo juro, te quiero un chingo, perro.
¿Te pegaron?
Le pegaron en la cabeza.
Te quiero un chingo, así que me vengo está esa madre. Mi corazón ahorita está vergueado ahorita.
Sí, le pegaron aquí en la cabeza.
Me pegaron, traigo vidrio de oreja.
¿Quién te pegó, güey?
Ese güey fue que me pegó.
¿Quién?
Ese güey.
Ya está.
You busted my shit open, right? He busted my fucking head open, right? Why he hit me? Why he hit me? Y'all gotta say it.
Hey, güey, ya está.
Are you refusing medical attention? Listen, I'm not refusing anything. I just want to know what's going on. And I promise you, bro, I'll do everything. I'll cooperate everything. I want to know everything. What the fuck? I'll get that part right. I want to know. You don't go to the hospital. Yo, a little while, a couple of hours. All you gotta do is cooperate. You don't have a warrant. You do not have a warrant. But you hit me. You hit me. What you hit me for? I just want to know why you hit me. I put my hands up. And you hit me. You still hit me with whatever you had in your hand. You had something in your hand and you hit me. Hey, just so you know, who you work for? The news? Hey, listen to me.
That motherfucker right there hit me with the motherfucker. Whatever the fuck he had in his hand. Whatever he had in his hand, he hit me. That won't make you taste me, my nigga. I won't make you taste me. I won't make that taste me. I swear to God.
You don't want to taste it, bro.
Oh, come on, man. I won't make that kill me, bro. I swear to God. On everything I love.
Come on, man.
I ain't do shit. I haven't done shit. Cause I've been out.
Yeah, no, for sure. Probably been intoxicated. You good, bro? You good? We're gonna check you out. We're gonna check it out.
I can't even fucking got the boss say shit. I don't even know you ever real cop, bro. You don't even look like you ever real cop.
Safety Act. You can't put them in jail, man.
He's tripping right now. Yeah. Were you here when he's saying that happened to him?
I've been listening to the radio call. They said they've been following him all day from Cicero. So they've been tracking him for some reason. I don't know if you're hooked up with them or you're a fan, but they've been tracking him. All you had to do is probably stop.
Yeah.
That's the way it is, man. But some of us older guys, we're hard-headed, bro. We're not like you, young, man.
Yeah, you gotta start listening.
We're old, yeah. Laws have changed, my brother.
I love you, man. I love you, David. Hey, no, don't put me. Bro, I'm gonna fucking make my head. Put the guy. The guy needs to charge. That's me. What's going on? What's going on?
Ambulance 47. So you're gonna check them out, do whatever. So this is a felony car for something was going on all the way in Cicero. They've been tracking it all day long. Driving all around. CPD tried to pull him over at one time too. He eluded. He ended up on the 290, going back and forth on and off exits. Then he got off on the Kennedy over on Kimball, I believe, went opposite direction on Addison. He ended up here at Barry and Monticello. There's a male and female in the car. Female passenger. He dropped her off in the alley over here. And then they got this car over here. Right? And ended up like that.
They're all yours?
And it looks like they knocked out the glass. You see that there? They knocked out the glass. There's a glass here, glass there. Phone under the car there. Knocked out the glass there, right? And the car ended up over here. And the guy's in the ambulance over there. So this is where the car ended up. Started in Cicero, they said today. SubX.News on the spot reporting. That's got Pennsylvania plates, that car there. So they must have busted out the back windows on this car here. See that?
Yeah. They usually go like this, landed. Yeah. They'll go there in case there's any other damage. Yeah. So, only that man because it's kind of easy. If you want to wait over there, when they clear you, we'll give you a card of where they're taking you. Okay, thank you. Yeah, no problem. I'll take a walk.
Oh, so you guys are going to wait till they come, right?
There you go. That car, the glass was busted out. You see that there? There's 2 glasses busted out there. See that there? See the glass busted out? And you see the glass down there, right? 1 and 2. So I think he dropped her off in the alley there. He came here. Somehow he blocked them off or did something. Right. KBB 8500, Pennsylvania plates. There we go. All right, we're gonna get out of here. We learning, and they busted out that windshield there. See that there? So 2 windshield, or 2 windows they busted out, right? The rear passenger and the front driver. Car ended up right there. All right, we're gonna get out of here. Maybe we'll go get a coffee or so. It's a lot of excitement, huh? SubX.News on the spot, reporting on the north side here. Barry and Monticello. The dude's in that ambulance right there. I think my gloves are underneath that truck there. See that there? Gotta grab them. Ooh, my hands are freezing. There you go. SubX.News. So we got that case, right? We're going to have to figure out what happened, what it's about. And we'll tell you a little later, right? While I take a little break, I'm going to sign off. What's up?
Hey there. I was also filming. I just made a connection with the family. If you want to connect, I'm happy to pass on any footage that you want to give to them.
It's me, SubX.News, right? John.
Hands are freezing, sorry.
Oh man, mine are too.
Alright.
Oh yeah, it was pretty wild. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah.
I tried to explain to the guy, it's Safety Act. He ain't going to jail, man.
Yeah.
Just relax, do what they need to do, and that's it. They were following him. Supposedly that car is out of Cicero. Some kind of felony stuff, and then he was driving all erratic on the highways.
Yeah, they cut my bus off. That's how I saw what was happening.
Oh yeah, we're at Kimball over there?
No, right over on Lawndale.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but complying, that's it. Yeah, you can say you don't like the cops, but it is what it is. Just stop. You know what I mean?
Nobody seemed to get hurt this time, you know.
Well, yeah, the car got hurt. Sounds like that's her work car, so that's a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, yeah, whatever you got, send it to me, or you want to talk, that's fine. I mean,
all right.
So you were on the bus, they stopped the bus, or which bus? Milwaukee bus?
I was on Belmont bus, and then it's like right out in front, and the bus did like a quick
This
stop.
car or the cop cars?
That car, and then the black undercover car after.
Yeah, that's a Cicero car there. That one, right? Or the other one? That one, right?
What do you mean when you say a Cicero car?
So this is out of Cicero. This is out of Cicero. That black car is a Cicero undercover car right there. And then the state police got involved because they was on the highway, and then because this happened here now, Chicago police. So it's 3 jurisdictions, but the Cicero police. This is a Cicero police case. So
okay,
that's why I keep saying Cicero, right? So the car you seen was a Cicero undercover cop.
Okay, interesting. Crazy shit, man. Well,
what do you do, man? You a student or what?
No, I work at a funeral home.
Oh, yeah, which one?
It's over in Lakeview.
Yeah, all right, yeah. Message me, say, hey, I met you over here on this case. If you want, we'll have a coffee or a tea or something like that. You lived in Chicago all your life or what?
No, I live like pretty close here. I've been here about 10 years now.
All right, I've been here all my life. I'm 58. So you want to know some ropes and what to do around here? We'll talk. I do live feeding. I do crime chasing, live feeding. Social justice stuff, advocacy, all kinds of things. You name it, I do it.
Cool.
Yeah, my name is John, so yeah.
Here.
You want? Yeah, I live on the south side right now. I used to live on, I know Barry because I used to live on Barry and Wilton over in Lakeview, but that neighborhood got burned out by Illinois Masonic. That's when they were gentrifying. They burned out the Puerto Ricans from over there. So I do gentrification work, all of that stuff. So.
Okay.
All right.
Well, good to meet you, John. Take care.
Yeah, all right. We'll meet up. We'll have some coffee. If you want to send me some footage, send me it. It's all right with me, but whatever. Right. I'm on. You can find me, SubX.News, all right? Okay. You got my card, all right, brother?
Gotcha, yeah.
All right, what's your name again?
Kieran.
Kieran?
Yeah.
K, right? Kieran. All right, Kieran. Yeah, all right. Do you do any the social justice work or documentary stuff or environmentalism or anything like that? Do you interested in any of that kind of stuff?
Definitely interested. I don't have like a filming or documentary or news background, but yeah, I pay attention to what's going on. Right?
Yeah, I work with documentary makers too, a bunch of them. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, maybe we hook up. We do something in the summer, all right?
Interesting.
All right.
All right.
All right. Stay in touch, all right? You too. Take it easy, my brother. Nice meeting you, Kieran. I gotta get my gloves from underneath the car here, right? There, my gloves are underneath the car. This is a felony vehicle. Let's wrap this up, and I think I'm gonna take a break. This is a felony vehicle out of Cicero. They've been tracking it all day. They tried to stop him, maybe in Cicero. Then CPD tried to stop him. Then he kept driving. Then he ended up on the 290. Drove on the shoulder on 290, I think. Went into downtown. Then he ended up on the, well, he was on the Ike, then he ended up on the Kennedy, then he was on the shoulder on the Kennedy, then he went in the opposite direction ramp on Addison, then he got off, I believe, on Kimball. He ended up going up Milwaukee here, in and out of the neighborhoods. He dropped the female off in the alley, it sounds like. I don't know if it was behind me or there. I think he probably dropped the female off in that alley over there. And then they surrounded him, busted out his windows, whatever they did. Maybe they boxed him in. You see him, they busted out the driver's side window and the passenger window. And then they put him all in custody. But the female bailed, and then they got him. So that's where we're at. We're gonna take a little break because that was pretty exciting there. So these are Cicero cops here. That's Cicero cops. So you got Cicero cops inside the Chicago State Troopers, the guys in the ambulance in back of me, okay? That's what we got. SubX.News on the spot reporting, 6:42 p.m. It is April 3rd, 2026. It is 6:42 p.m. We're at Barry and Monticello. We're going to sign off on all of our live feeds right now. We're going to take a little break. We're going to maybe go get some dinner somewhere. We're going to need to relax and get a little hyper on this stuff, right? There you go. SubX.News on the spot reporting. That's our first case today. Take it easy. Yeah, he said he was out of prison for 3 days. And we were talking, I guess that was his relative, the young guy. I said, man, they got the Safety Act. You don't go to jail no more for cars or anything. You don't go to jail for anything almost. At the most, you might sit at the station. But they usually do pre-trial release right on the sidewalk. They give you, it's paperwork, so you don't go to jail anymore.
7384 ready.
All right, he's going to the hospital, it sounds like.
7383 boy. Yeah. 35 line.
All right, so he's going to the hospital.
Is going to get you 10887, 10887. 7384. Was that Eddie? Yes, ma'am.
All righty. We're going to sign off for a second. Take it easy, everybody. Take it easy, citizen.
Line, please. At 35th Street. All right, that event is 10893, 10893.
Take it easy, guys, on Facebook. I need to take a little bit of a break, okay? I got to calm down. Plus, I've been on since 4, so we're at that time, all right? So take it easy, everybody. I'll talk to you later. I don't know where I'm going to end up. I need to get something to eat. I'm a little bit hungry, and I'm way on the north side. I haven't figured any places to eat up here. Anybody know any good places to eat? I'm on Milwaukee and wherever I'm at. I don't know where I'm at. Is there a good place to eat up here? Hot dog joint. Maybe I'll go to Junior's down there on Armitage. Maybe I'll go and get me a Pizzoli over there, but that's down on North Avenue. It's a little south of here. The Polish places used to be here on Milwaukee Avenue. Maybe I'll go over there. All right, take it easy. Love everybody. 6:45 p.m. April 3rd, 2026. We're here at a felony stop that originated out of Cicero. There we go. You got the whole story there from the beginning to the end. All righty. We tried to do our best here on SubX.News. Take it easy.